Hi, Mina! Hello. Hello, everyone. Let me adjust myself a little bit. Hello. Hi, Mina! Oh, God. Hi, Mina. Welcome in. Man jump scare. I know. Not the man jump scare is real. Hello. We are going to be today. We're watching a video by a content creator named Bricky. Who I believe actually has explicitly given Glitch Stars permission to watch his videos, which is really kind of him and very awesome of him. So we're gonna be watching it. We're gonna preface. We have to preface a little bit. First of all, I don't know shit about 40k. I thought it was 30k, and now I'm very confused because apparently it's 40k. I know that there's like miniatures and it's like war, and I've heard many people compare certain factions to StarCraft. There is a 30k. Wait till you hear about 50k. Oh, God. What about the 401k? But then, where's... I need Hio's sound panel. Hi, Mina. Hello. So, clearly, I come from a place of ignorance. So, everyone who is here who actually knows what they're talking about and knows how Warhammer works, please understand that I have no idea what I'm saying or doing. So, please be forgiving if I say something stupid or wrong. But I'm here to try to educate myself. Yeah, I'm here for the 40,000 hammers. I've been promised 40,000 hammers. Where are the hammers? Another preface is that I am approaching this with incredible skepticism. I'm gonna say it outright. I'm saying it outright. I have incredible skepticism with this. Super Iron Bob, thanks so much for the super chat. Welcome to the shit post that takes itself 100% super serious. Is that what this is? But I'm like a weeb. So I am a supreme weeb. I would like to make that very clear. Nocturnal, thanks so much for the super chat. HR would like to remind us that 40k has an unreliable narrator. Okay, I don't even know what that means. Is there a narrator? I don't know jack shit about Warhammer. I just know about the tabletop game, and I know that you can like fight people, and I know that there's different factions, and they're kind of like StarCraft. I am a big weeb. I like anime shit, and I like my anime women with their anime eyes, with their tig bitties. That's what's usually up my alley. I also like mech, so everyone has told me that the Tau faction is probably the one that I like, and then Battle Sisters. I've heard those names being thrown around a lot, but I will say that because of my biases, I'm coming at this with an incredibly critical perspective, and I don't like the way Warhammer looks. So I'm hoping that the lore will kind of win me over, right? That's what I'm hoping. Today we are watching Bricky's video that is called Every Single Warhammer 40k Faction Explained Part 1. We will also watch Part 2. And we'll see what it has, what the whole hubbubaloo is about. What everyone is freaking out about. We're taking baby steps. And then apparently there's like a different video I need to watch after this one. I've never played a Warhammer game. The closest thing that I've played to Warhammer is EDH. No, I said EDH last time. EDF. Sorry. EDF. EDF or StarCraft, I guess. Those are the probably closest games I've played to Warhammer, not World of Warcraft. And I haven't even played Helldivers. I don't even know if that's close, but close enough. Okay, we got the close enough. Are there gonna be massive spiders in this one too? So we're gonna see. I have some Oreos. I have the best Oreos. I have Oreo Thins. And Oreo Thins are the supreme form of Oreos, if you guys were not aware. I have Oreo Thins. I have a bottle of Coca-Cola, even though I shouldn't be drinking that. There will be giant spiders and they have guns. What? I don't like that. I don't like that. Massive everything. This is the stream of all time. Everyone keeps saying that. Okay, well, let's see if my expectations can be met. Can this series truly win over the heart of the weeb? Is it possible to win over a massive weeb? We're going to find out. Here we go. Let's get it started.
As someone who doesn't necessarily serve,
can you let me know how the audio is?
But someone who can appreciate them, you will not be getting my legs today, as I will be replacing them with various things depending on which faction we are currently talking about, to add a little bit more context and possible comedy too.
Wait, this is just like my tweet. Video is low. Okay, wait. This is just like my tweet. My Amogus tweet.
Whatever the hell I'm currently doing. So, hello everybody, my name is Ricky, and this is going to be a long video and a large project that has been going on for quite some time. This is, I need two hands for this. This is every single Warhammer 40k race in kind of a nutshell, explained, a little bit of explanation, a little bit.
Okay, also I want to preface that this video is 5 years old. So I just want to make sure that everyone is aware. I don't know. I don't know anything about this, but I don't know if 5 years is a long time. I feel like Warhammer's been around for a really long time. So maybe 5 years is a drop in the bucket, but I just want to make that very clear. Yes, yes.
A bit of lore, a little bit of talking about the tabletop, mostly lore, what they're all about, and also a little bit of background for those of you who just have no clue what Warhammer.
Wait, isn't that the Helldivers logo? Am I stupid? I thought isn't the Helldivers logo like this? No.
Warhammer 40,000 is. Now you see, Warhammer and Warhammer 40,000 is a universe people hear plenty of, but don't know a whole lot about. They see, oh, there's these dudes in big power armor with chainsaw swords, and they got these big old green orcs, and there's some bugs over there.
I didn't even know they had orcs.
Everyone calls these guys weebs, and then there's these spiky bitches over here. I don't get it.
That's
I don't
me.
understand. Where do I start? Well, this video is particularly for you, or for those of you.
Oh my god, you guys! That's me! Wait, you guys! This is literally a picture. Where'd you get that photo of me? That's crazy.
Who have a little bit of knowledge, but you're kind of curious about each of the different races and factions in
Not
Warhammer.
The face reveal.
So overall, the Warhammer universe is vast when it comes to lore.
Wait,
and
what the fuck are these words? What am I looking at? I'm not gonna lie, I read this as Ultima Smegma, but that's definitely not what that says. Super Iron Bob, thank you so much for the super chat. I'm sorry to discover you're old. If you're discovering that for the first time, you know. Okay, there's a lot of words here. It is Ultima Smegma. Every human world is. Alright, well. I read it as like as a combination of smegma and septum, like a septum piercing. Heart of Darkness. What the heck? Cicatrix Maledictum. Interesting.
And each different faction is so different with the things that they believe in, and some are human, some are transhuman.
Wait, question. Is faction different than race, or are those interchangeable? Because earlier he said every race, and the title says faction. So I just want to double check. Kinda. it's different. Some factions have many races. Okay, good to know.
Like where they all have all these crazy ass electronics on them. You've got aliens and you've got the chaos factions, and there's so much to entail.
I don't like that.
I decided to embark on this project to tell you what each and every single one of them is about and what the Warhammer universe is about as well, to give at least a little bit of an intro to this extremely bloated but very, very enjoyable world that I and many others partake in. So I will be explaining every single faction in the Warhammer 40k universe.
That's a lot of factions
you can play as.
I didn't know there were that many
factions here and there.
Space wolves?
I will not be discussing absolutely everything.
The fuck are space wolves?
That's a little bit much, and I'm not going to go too mega deep into the lore. I'm going to give you a pretty solid overview of each of the different factions and have you learn a little bit about them, and we'll discuss a little bit of the tabletop as well, in case you were curious about that. But for this episode entirely, we are discussing
the furry
Imperium
faction
of Man, because that takes up a fat chunk of Warhammer lore.
Is that a faction name?
What is Warhammer 40,000?
Oh, thank you.
Well, the 40,000 starts off is the year 40,000. The 41st millennium, that's where it takes place, is in the year 40,000, 41,000 AD. You're already more knowledgeable. Let me read you a quote, first of many quotes in this video. It is the 41st millennium. For more than 100 years, the Emperor has sat immobile on the golden throne of Earth. He is the master of mankind by the will of the gods, and master of 1,000,000 worlds by the might of his inexhaustible armies. He is a rotting carcass, visibly with power from the dark age of technology. He is the carrion lord of the Imperium, for whom 1,000 souls are sacrificed every day so that he may never truly die. To be a man in such times is to be amongst untold billions. It is to live in the cruelest and most bloody regime imaginable. These are the tales of those times. Forget the power of technology and science, for so much has been forgotten, never to be relearned. Forget the promise of progress and understanding, for in the grim, dark future, there is only war.
Oh no,
there is no peace
I don't like
amongst
that.
the stars, only an eternity of carnage and slaughter and the laughter of thirsting gods. Everything blows. And it blows fucking hard. Warhammer
is okay, blowing hard like good blowing hard, or wait, so are there gods? Is like that when they say gods, is it like a metaphorical god, or are there actual gods? Anonymous, thank you so much for the 420 dono. Let me read it really quick. I gotta enable TTS. Long live the man emperor of mankind. The man emperor of man. How many times do you say man? Both? Kinda. There are literal gods. Literal gods, yes. Gods are real. Real gods, all are evil. Actual gods. Alright, actual gods.
It's probably the most dark and depressing universes ever in fiction, or at least like top 3. Everything is so absurdly horrible, destructive, or overpowered that it all kind of ends up canceling itself out. It's like Dota. War rages across the galaxy.
That's a crazy statement.
Travel is only possible due to sacrificing 1,000 souls a day to a rotting carcass of a man who you.
This is the Emperor! This guy! This guy! He's seen better days. He's so dreamy. He's definitely seen better days. That toaster, he does look like a toaster.
You believe to be your god. Demonic gods and just demons tear open the fabric of reality on a whim. Other Xenos or even other humans end up killing each other in untold billions across the galaxy. It is a time of unending war, slaughter, and a bloodbath amongst everybody. Planets are deemed unrecoverable and are completely destroyed on a whim. Everything sucks, but that's like the charm of it.
What? That's the charm of it. I don't. Okay. Okay, interesting. I'm getting the world lore. Everyone, so wait, so question, is the 1,000 souls that are being sacrificed, do they have to be like, maybe Bricky will talk about this later, but is it like they have to be chosen, these 1,000 people have to be chosen, or is it like they can just die in war and that counts? Does that count? It's like the Great Depression, right? They have to be chosen. Oh. They're chosen. Okay, that's crazy. I feel like in the lands of war, it's like hard to even find 1,000 people.
Everything in Warhammer is evil.
Oh.
But being evil is kind of fun. Like humanity, in its own right, is a xenophobic, prejudice, and religious zealot group that kill each other just as much as they kill all of their enemies. And they're like mid to high tier evil on the evil scale of Warhammer.
Okay.
Nobody's good. No matter who you are, everyone is some flavor, some color of evil. Whoever you pick, you are going to be the bad guy. But that's the fun of it. Because being the bad guy is badass. Villains are cool. They look cool, they got cool outfits, they got cool weapons, they got cool armies. Villains are cool, man. And when everyone is a villain, everyone is pretty cool. That's what makes this so charming, is that everyone can be the bad guy. So let's start off talking about the main bad guy, quote unquote, the Imperium of Man.
The main bad guy. Okay.
The Imperium of Man is the main empire of the human race. All of humanity is under this one flag called the Imperium. And about 10,000 years ago, there was a man. He was the Emperor of mankind.
Wait, Emperor of mankind, is that different than the other emperor we saw? Was the other emperor, what was he the emperor of? Was he not the emperor of mankind? I'm just trying to keep all the facts straight. Oh, it's the same guy. Okay, great.
10-foot-tall psychic demigod
in his prime.
Who led humanity across the stars to colonize tons and tons of worlds, create superhuman soldiers, and really bring humanity into a new age. This man, the Emperor of Mankind, was a psyker. And a psyker is like a magician of sorts. In the world of 40K, there is the warp, the immaterium, kind of like hell, but sort of like a purgatory dimension of hell.
Jesus,
and
this is a crazy statement.
Is someone who can take that power and manifest it through their mind to use it to do stuff. Like witchcraft stuff, magician stuff, spells, and lots of other things, but we don't want to get too into that. The Emperor, big boy psyker.
Oh my, he really does look like Jesus here.
Maybe even S. Now, the Emperor created a bunch of sons. Yes, created a bunch of sons known as the Primarchs. He created 20.
Didn't like bang a girl and
18 Primarchs to have them lead all of the different legions of humanity to the different stars and plans to help colonize and bring it out. These Primarchs are basically like little versions of the Emperor. Not all of them are psychers, but a lot of them are very, very powerful, and they lead his special Space Marine legions. Then this big clusterfuck happened called the Horus Heresy, where the Emperor's favorite son, the Primarch, Horus, ended up joining Chaos and leading 9 of the 18, half of his Primarchs directly to Earth to fight down the Emperor himself. Now, if you want to know what Chaos is, remember what I mentioned earlier, the warp, that immaterium, the hellish place? In there relies the 4 Chaos gods. Imagine—
Ooh, she's hot. She's hot. I like her. Femboy! Femboy! There's femboys in War. How come no one told me that there was gonna be femboys in Warhammer? I feel like he's evil. They're all evil. That's what we just spent like the last 10 minutes talking about how everyone's evil. I thought there was no greater or lesser evil. I thought everyone was evil. There another level of evil? It'll be explained. No femboys, more like occasional undying twink. All Limina needed was a femboy. All I ever need is a femboy. What can I say? If evil, why hot? That's what I'm saying. Oh, wait, I thought this was a tail. It's like people's hands. I thought it was a tail. Well, I don't care what gender they are. They're hot.
Imagine like Satan and 3 other.
He has an army full of battle twinks? Why did you just lead with that? That should have been the first statement of the video, and then I would have been like, okay, sign me the fuck up. Where do I sign? But yeah, Chicken, thank you so much for the super chat. Well, it looks like the indoctrination took less time than expected.
Other Satans. The warp being kind of evil, those chaos gods, that's the reason. And so those chaos gods manipulated Horus, and then Horus helped manipulate all 8 other Primarchs to lead this giant coup directly on the Emperor on Earth. And they fucked up shit. After this huge civil war, Horus died, but not before brutally wounding the Emperor, and right at the end of his life, they put the Emperor on this large golden throne on Earth, in which he is now alive, just barely, but slowly rotting away, powering something called the Astronomicon, so long as he stays alive, and is...
So that's so confusing that he's like dead but alive. King was at the cause. Thank you so much for the super chat. Slaneesh isn't a femboy. They're more like an amorphous creature that can assume any gender or thing. You want femboys, you go to Emperor's Children. Okay, I'm ready for more femboys. I'm ready for more femboys. Ready. The Emperor did get Empreg though. I think that's pretty impressive. So does he have like consciousness, chat, or is he just like... Is he more like a figurehead? Is he just like symbolically there, or is he like, can he talk and stuff? Sorta. He's dead, just dying really slowly. Yes, and he's been screaming in pain for 10,000 years. He can't talk. Consciousness, he's prisoner of his own body. He's mind broken. He's mind broken. He's waiting for his TTS installed. Alright, I guess we'll find out.
1,000 people a day. The Astronomicon is like the North Star. If you want to do interstellar travel in 40K, you need to pass through that demonic warp I mentioned earlier. But how do you know where you're going? Well, the Emperor is there putting a nice little navigator right there. He helps navigate you to know where you're going. If you want to go from Earth to some crazy solar system across the way, you need to go through that warp, and then you need to know where you're going, go through there, and pop your way out. It's like doing nether travel in Minecraft, so you can shorten the distance between going to areas. So long as the Emperor is alive and being fed 1,000 people a day to stay alive, you can do that. The moment he dies, interstellar travel's gone for all of humanity. You're so boned. Now, since the Horus heresy 10,000 years ago,
replace him.
The Imperium has fallen from grace substantially. All technology has started to dwindle and die. There is now giant fundamental religious extremists that now believe the Emperor of Mankind...
Oh, they're cool. I like the design. The design of this lady's cool. Or this person. Maybe they're not a lady. I don't know anymore. I don't trust anything anymore.
Was a deity, a true living god, which is probably the last thing the Emperor would have wanted to be remembered for. So now you have this thing called the Ecclesiarchy, which is this giant church entirely devoted to spreading the good word of the Emperor. He is now the Holy Emperor God, the God Emperor of mankind, and all of the Imperium has taken up worshipping him to the fullest extent and killing anything that isn't humanity in his name. The Imperium has this futuristic gothic tone to it and a hefty religious zealotry to them.
Ooh, this is cool. I mean, I think he showed like a 3D version of this earlier, but it didn't look as cool. I like the little eagle head. And I like his little pee-pee. It's very cute.
If you think anything against the Emperor, that's heresy and you deserve to die. That is called being a heretic. Heretics die in 40K. There is no such thing as freedom of religion. There is no such thing as freedom of speech, so long as you are against the Emperor. There is no such thing as any kind of tolerance. Everyone is a religious zealot. Some more than others, but no matter what, you're preaching that good word. So right now, Everyone in humanity is trying to expand their empire across the stars. If you are a heretic, someone who doesn't believe in the Emperor, you are deserving of death. If you believe in the Chaos Gods, you are also a heretic and you deserve death. If you are an alien race of any kind, you are a filthy Xenos and you deserve death as well. So long
I don't
as
like
the murder continues and humanity expands,
that's racism.
The Imperium of Man is very, very happy. However, the largest fighting force of this Imperium is my personal favorite faction, and the first faction we will discuss, the Astra Militarum, or also known as the Imperial Guard.
Pretty shit now, man. You finished? That's it, man. Game over, man.
The Imperial Guard is the main fighting force of the Imperium, and in a world of horrifying creatures, galactic monstrosities, the literal demons themselves breaking through the fabric of time to kill you, the Imperial Guard are untold billions of regular men and women wearing modern day like flak armor with a laser rifle. This is the humble las gun, the main weapon of the Imperial Guard. It fires superheated plasma lasers at an extremely fast fire rate. It is reliable, never jams. It can blow off limbs, giant holes in concrete. It is overall an extremely devastating weapon in modern day. It is one of the weakest in the 40K universe. Yeah, a laser rifle that never jams, it could blow off limbs, one of the weakest weapons. That's the world we're in right now. But who cares?
They're the EDF.
Because the Imperial Guard has, in each battle, 500,000 of these men and women. 30,000 large armored tanks, 10,000 artillery batteries. The Imperial Guard wins through sheer numbers and firepower. They kind of have this World War I, World War II style aesthetic with legions of guardsmen as well as high company commanders and generals on the field along.
I feel like this is like this one, and then the Space Marines are what I'm used to kind of seeing when people talk about Warhammer, like this type of helmet style, but this is why I think of EDF or like Helldivers, right?
With them and multiple kinds of troops. A normal Imperial Guard battle starts off with artillery, long lines of artillery, cracking the crust of the planet underneath the enemy's feet.
The crust?
And as this barrage continues, hundreds of thousands of guardsmen, a sea of guardsmen surges forward, firing and charging at everything possible while the planet rumbles as tanks roll up behind them. Gunships block out the sun and tanks block out the
gunships look
with
cool.
The steps and hoofprints of millions of guardsmen. It is through numbers and sheer sundering firepower. They are the first and last line of defense for the Imperium and make up a huge bulk of the battles. The Imperial...
Okay, is anyone's favorite... Is it the Imperium? Is that what their faction is called? Is this anyone's favorite faction? I feel like they seem like the most lame one. Like, boring. They're like the poster child. Me? Really? Okay, you're not boring. I take that back. Miwa likes them. Is it because there's hot men in there or something? They're mine? Really? That's the fun of it. Yes, they're basic, but they're neat. People love vanilla. Oh, you know, thank you for saying that. That really puts it into perspective. I didn't really think about it that way, but now that you've said it's like people enjoying vanilla, it's like, yeah, you're right. While I might not understand why anyone wouldn't just read Mindbreak, I guess there are people who do enjoy vanilla. And that makes sense because Miwa also is very vanilla. There's you know, connection.
The Guard is also made up of tons of different kinds of regiments. The Catachin jungle fighters live in a death world that's more hospitable than almost any firefight they'll ever get into. So they just have this steroid-looking giant knife.
This is like what's that movie? This is like that freaking movie with Robert Downey Jr. King of Cosmo, thank you so much for the super chat. I can't wait for Limina to see the Tau and the Necrons. I'm looking forward to the Tau as well. Rambo. Oh yeah, Rambo is the other one I was thinking of. Tropic Thunder is the one I was... Yes, Tropic Thunder was the thing I was thinking of. I wasn't thinking about Rambo. I was thinking about Tropic Thunder, which is a parody of Rambo. So, you know, it all comes together.
Rambo predator-looking sons of
just
bitches,
mentioned it.
where nothing is anywhere near as scary as a simple night on their home planet. You have the Valhallan winter soldiers who haven't felt their toes in 300 years. The Mordian Iron Guard who are more interested in making their shoes shine than actually fighting a battle. And then, of course, the big one, the Cadians.
Wait, I like the guys that want to just make their shoes shine. That's me. That guy, you know, can't fight crime if you're not hot. How did that saying go? I don't remember.
From Cadia. The biggest export of guardsmen in the entirety of the Imperium. You will fire your first gun at 5. You will disassemble.
Wait, what happened? What happened at Cadia?
Predator-looking sons of bitches, where nothing is anywhere near as scary as a simple night on their home planet. You have the Valhallan winter soldiers who haven't felt their toes in 300 years. The Mordian Iron Guard who are more interested in making their shoes shine than actually fighting a battle. And then, of course, the big one, the Cadians from Cadia.
Oh, I see. There's like a faction called the Cadians.
Export of guardsmen in the entirety of the
But their
Imperium.
home planet was destroyed. I see.
You will disassemble and reassemble it at 10. You will have pounding artillery drills day in and day out at 15. And you'll fight your first swarm lord at 16.
Whoa,
and
that guy looks cool. That was like a samurai lizard.
Unrelenting amount of tears and sadness like I do daily. To quote, I have at my command an entire battle group of the Imperial Guard, 50 regiments including specialized drop troops, stealthers, mechanized formations, armored companies, combat engineers, and mobile artillery. Over 500,000 fighting men and 30,000 tanks and artillery pieces are mine to command. Emperor, show mercy to the fool that stands against me, for I shall not. The Imperial Guard are my personal favorite faction in 40K.
Oh.
They're the army I collect the most, the ones I enjoy playing the most,
okay, well,
and the one I
take
enjoy
it back.
in the lore sense a lot. There's something about just a regular man with a laser rifle being told to charge the horrors of this universe and willingly doing so for his god emperor. It's just poetic. They actually represent the main
Wait, they
Imperial
look so
Guard tactics
goofy.
pretty well. Large amounts of artillery.
They look so goofy.
Line of sight, lots of tanks.
Look at these guys. They're so look at the ones with their mouth open. They're like the goofiest. Like look at this guy. Look at him. He looks so silly.
Tons of infantry, drop troops, and gunships. Overall, they're pretty similar to how they sound, though a little bit expensive to collect, unfortunately. And they don't hit a lot. They have a bit of a bad aim, but you don't really care.
Wait, expensive to collect? So like, is this one of those things where like some of them are limited edition and you can't buy them again after like, you know, time passes? And so like, is he talking about like the older, if you try to collect all the old ones? 10 of those guys is $40 because they're 30 years old. You need a lot. It's because you need a fuck ton of them for an army. You can't just like mix and match. You need the same one. A box of Cadians is like 60 to 70. I like how you just say like it's a box of them. I just imagine like a box of little dudes in there. That's how the company makes money. I guess so. Just buy miniatures instead of going to college. Trust me, it'll pay off. It's like buy.
Because you're just drowning them in shots. However, if you want more action.
Oh, you guys are saying that this faction is extra expensive because you need more guys. Okay, I understand.
You're at fire.
Got it.
Specialization. We can move on to talk about Space Marines.
What?
The Angels of Death are up next.
What?
Space Marines are genetically engineered super soldiers and superhumans. They're given extra organs, their skin tissue is toughened, their bones are stronger, they're taller than the average person. They're pretty massive people, and these are the specialized super soldiers that carry out a lot of the more specific tasks for the Imperium. And there's...
Thank you so much, Anonymous, for the 333. Don't know. These plastic toys made more money than the entire tea industry of the UK. That's crazy.
tons of legions of them. In fact, there's one per Primarch. Each Primarch,
yeah, this one I know. I've seen these guys before, for sure.
Oversees their legion of Space Marines. The genetic upgrade they get is based on the genes of said Primarch. It's something called a gene seed. That's what brings them up to this like superhuman level. As stated, each Primarch has their own legion. Robot Girly Man has the Ultramarines.
His name is Girly Man. What is his name? Robot Girly Man? Is that his name? Is that his legal name? Robot Girly Man. Yes. Okay. Okay, Robot Girly Man.
Khan has the White Scars, a rogue.
Oh, I like the white and red. That was cool looking.
Dorn has the Imperial Fists. Corvus Corax has the Raven Guard. And there's a whole bunch of other side sections that are also extremely interesting and have a little bit more of a twist on the average Space Marines, which we'll discuss in a bit.
Wait, so if they're all based off of the Primarch gene seed or whatever, that's a very weird way to... because I can't stop thinking about Ocean Man. I'm sorry, Ocean Man. Specifically Ocean Man, I'm so sorry. Anyway, gene seed. So that means that there's 18 of them, right? Because there's 18 Primarchs. So there's 18 different types of Space Marines? Am I understanding that correctly? Yes? Okay. Yeah, there's 18. Okay, got it.
Humorously enough, I don't have a whole lot to say about Space Marines. They're superhumanly fast. In fact, it's been said that nothing that large should move that quick. These men in power armor moving at blazing fast speeds. Their reflexes are faster.
They look like
their skin
Zaku's.
is tougher. They are overall just extremely powerful soldiers. In fact, where they differ comes down to which Space Marine Legion we're talking about. For instance, the Ultramarines done by Robot Gilliman are the main blue boys. Strong in almost every way, the jack of all trades kind of group that are a little bit too strong, and that's a lore problem, but the White Scars by Jagatai Khan are all about speed freaks, go fast. We're talking attack bikes, we're talking land speeders. You want to go in quick, you want to hit them hard, you want them to be swarming around like buzzflies. Buzz saws. With the speed of buzz saws. Fuck you, Pale King. Salamanders love fire. Fire in the forge, fire in battle. Flamers, melta-guns, multi-meltas. Just so long as something can be burning, that's big. And they're also actually some of the nicest of the Space Marines. A lot of Space Marines have this kind of...
Nicest?
Like holier than thou thing because of their genetic strength. However, the Salamanders tend to put human lives...
Salamanders?
...above the lives of themselves, which is actually rather rare. They're also all black, but not like just regular black, like 2 a.m. line at a White Castle black. Like they have a charcoal, dark, ashy exterior
crazy.
And blazing red eyes. Apparently something about living on their home planet of Nocturne, which I don't know if that makes much sense, but who cares? This is like fantasy land anyway. Overall, Salamanders are actually one of my personal favorite legions because they're just really cool. They're fun to play as because of all their flamer weapons, and they have a nice, like, more heartwarming lore as opposed to being super evil like everyone else is.
They're just like nice
we're
guys.
Not even a quarter of the way through the Space Marine legions. Imperial Fists believe in the power of the siege and defensive positions.
Is that a freaking...
Imperial Fist.
Is that a freaking cherub? Is that a cherub? But he has like a little loincloth. King of Cause, thank you so much for the super chat. Fun fact, the power armies of the Astartes used to be simple mining gear that has been modified over the millennia. Oh, the armor. They are cherubs. You don't want to know about those? Don't ask about the cherub. How can I not ask about the chair? It's like a little flying baby. A little flying baby. Why does that robot babies don't ask questions you're not ready for? The lore is wild. The skull flying bird is also a person. Okay, but this just looks like whatever. This is like, that's like an actual baby. You'll learn about it. Okay. Okay.
Believe in the power of the siege and defensive positions. Raven Guards, master of stealth and sabotage while having bird helmets.
I like the bird helmets.
Of machines and vehicles while being really goddamn good at being sold on eBay after one nerf. Space wolves, Vikings.
Oh,
and
space wolves.
Tons of wolves and axes, battle axes, fur everywhere. Space wolves, angry, big teeth. Blood angels, the genetic defect to make them want to drink blood and go crazy, called the Red Thirst. They have Cupid wings and stuff, which is a little bit strange, and they are all super gay for Sanguinius. Dark Angels are old school knights and inner circle thieves.
That seems like the Fujo one. Is that the Fujo faction? Is that the Fujo faction? Or like, is there an AO3 tag for the, what were they called? The angels? Blood angels. Yeah. Absolutely. They're all vampire twinks. It's the BL Brigade. Oh my god. Wait, I gotta tell Fujo mate. She would love that. I feel like she would actually love that.
Men.
Are you a heretic?
Me? No, never. Once from Limina, though.
Death Watch, a fancy anti-Xenos group that nobody plays because Death Watch, and they look cool though, but no one.
How come no one plays them, chat? Magic, thank you so much for the super chat. Blood Angels also have an important percentage of femboy. I can't wait to see them. Miwa can send you some Fujo links, I'm sure, but I'm not in it for the Fujo stuff. I'm in it for the femboys. Deathwatch keeps getting deleted and re-added. Like from the game? Like they remove them from the game? Can you see Twitch chat? It's not showing on stream. Wait, is it not? Wait, what the heck? Oh shit! Wait, I think you're right. I don't think it is. I'm so sorry, Twitch chat. I didn't mean to ignore you. Oh my god, wait, give me a second. Why isn't it working? I'm so sorry! Wait, what the fuck? Oh, huh? Wait, sorry, 1 second. Give me 1 second. I don't know. I think it logged me out. I'm so sorry, Twitch chat. Why did that happen? It logged me out. Oh my god, Twitch chat, I'm so sorry. I'm gonna read all of it right now. You do enjoy a good mind break. I do. I'm so sorry. You guys have been chatting so much. I feel so terrible. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I didn't know. I just thought that nobody was in Twitch chat. Because that tends to happen. I thought no one was there. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Okay, yeah, same guy talking about the Emperor. Scratch Empreg off the live in a stream bingo list. Slanesh. Sorry, I'm reading everything. Sorry, 1 second. No one is a psyker anywhere close to Zoltar Blazon. The Emperor, right? I see. I guess they're just not skill issue. They're not talented enough. Everyone's sad about Cadia. Who's Abaddon? Abaddon is a petty bitch, someone says. Curse upon Phalabaddon. May he be armless forever. Who's that? Oh, his name is not Girly Man. It's because no one can pronounce his name. It's Geely Man. Oh. Gotcha. Cherubs. Everyone's talking about cherubs. Lobotomized baby with wings. Nocturnal, thank you so much for the 100 biddies. HR says if you're AI, run for it. What the? That's racism. Twitch chat oppression. No, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. We stand the second-class citizenship. No! I think it's because, okay, I think I know what happened. It's because the chat service that I used had an update, and I updated it, and I think it logged me out of Twitch, and I didn't realize that it had logged me out of Twitch. But Ghost Chat, thank you so much for 4 months of membership on Twitch. That reminds me to use my Prime sub. Thank you so much for using your Prime sub. This is 40k, everyone's racist. Okay, but like, you don't have to be racist to AI too. All right, sorry about that. Okay, we should be back in business. Let's get this back on the road.
No one plays them. I don't know about Death Watch.
Wait. We were gonna, you were gonna explain to me why. You guys were gonna explain to me why no one plays Death Watch. Chad, why does no one play Death Watch? Someone said they were removed. Oh, AI in 40k is bad. I see. I don't know, just no one does. Oh. Death Watch gets retconned a lot. Oh. Death Watch keeps getting deleted and re-added from the game. Often has bad rules if they have rules at all. Wait, why does the game hate Death Watch? Death Watch is just super niche. Okay. I do like the design. I think it's cool.
They're there though. Black Templars, for the people who, if you haven't prayed at least 3 times a day, you're gonna start praying out that airlock. And I'm sure there's some other
that one was cool looking
I
too.
may have missed as well, like Crimson Fists and stuff. But those are the main ones right here. Here. Quote from the Emperor himself.
From the Emperor
himself.
himself.
My finest warriors, these men who give of themselves to me. Like clay I shall mold them, and in the furnace of war I shall forge them. They shall be
Is
of
this
iron
grooming
will
chat?
and steely sinew. In great armor I shall clad them, and with the mightiest weapons shall they be armed. They will be untouched by plague or disease, no sickness shall blight them. They shall have such tactics, strategies, and machines that no foe will best them in battle. They are my bulwark against the terror, they are my defenders of humanity, they are my space marines, and they shall know no fear. And on the tabletop, they fuck. Oh, they fuck hard.
Okay, wait, I have a question. So, because you know how like there was a coup against the emperor, and so now I already forgot their names. I said it like 4 times already. I keep trying to say hierarch, but it's not hierarch. The sons of the emperor, the children, emperor's children. So all of these guys, Primarchs, thank you. The Primarchs have their DNA turned into Space Marines. So do the Space Marines, like each faction of the Space Marines, do they report to whoever their dad gene is, or do they just report to the Emperor? They report to their Primarch. Oh, okay. That makes sense. They did before shit went down. If their Primarch is alive. Oh, okay. I see. It's a chain of command. Sort of, some are dead. Most of the loyal Primarchs are lost or dead. Okay. Primarchs are middle management. Gotcha. Nobody reports to Emperor because he's a chair skeleton. Okay. I mean, but the Emperor wrote that nice letter about grooming them, so I wasn't sure if, maybe like, yeah.
As of making this video, Space Marines are laughably strong. That might change at some point, but overall, Space Marines just have it's like a Swiss Army knife, a tool for anything you need, except it's like a gold-plated Swiss Army knife. It is extremely strong. If you are actually...
Is this still true, chat? Is Space Marine still the strongest faction 5 years later? Are they still the strongest? Yes? Okay.
Actually getting into the tabletop of Warhammer, Space Marines are a
pretty
great
much
start.
No.
Also, whatever gameplay style you have, whether you want to be sit back with long range and heavy weaponry, go fast and run in, or even just full melee, all of these options are totally there for you. Space Marines are super badass, but unfortunately, it's time we start praying to our new god, the 2011 Honda Civic.
The 2011 Honda Civic.
Afraid of technology.
Technology. The Adeptus Mechanicus. The
Adeptus Mechanicus
are a technophile cult on Mars. Now, these people are a little bit weird because they don't actually really...
Is Singed, is that you? Singed, is that you?
Believe in the Emperor of Mankind. And you might think, oh, whoa.
Leah's
that
favorite
sounds like some
toaster fuckers.
A little bit. They believe in the Emperor. They
make out with toasters? What are you guys saying? You guys are just saying words. USB defilers. They worship the router. You'd either be Arch Heresy or their goddess. It's 50-50. It makes sense, we swear. You'll see how true this is. Okay.
believe in his power, but they don't pray to him. They pray to something called the Omnissiah. And the Omnissiah is this kind of machine god that they believe permeates in all machines. And if you think, well, wait a minute, they believe in a different god as well? That sounds like super heresy. Well, yes-ish, but they also make all your guns. Ooh. And they make all your tanks. And they make everything that you have. So you can't really tell them to fuck off, because you're not gonna win nothing if you don't got stuff to shoot people with. See, their Omnissiah at least makes sense from their standpoint. They believe it to be a deity that permeates through all machines. Your Honda Civic, your standard bolt gun, your Dune Strider Walker, your giant mechs, your huge ships. The Omnissiah is present through all. And the only reason your stuff works is because the machine's spirit in it says it works. If you want...
King of Gods, thank you so much for the super chat. The machine god may or may not be an ancient robot dragon with that... what was an enslaved god by the Necrons. Ooh, ancient robot dragon sounds sick. That was enslaved by the Necrons. Gotcha. Have you ever prayed for your OBS to work? You're praying to the Omnissiah. Okay, well, the Omnissiah has forsaken me because all of my technology breaks. Okay, so fuck this group, because fuck the Omnissiah, because I always have tech issues. I can't buy a piece of electronic that won't break down on me. You must pray more, ye of little faith. Pray better. Skill issue. You lack faith. You need to pray more. Nocturnal, thank you so much for the 100 biddies. The ancient dragon was imprisoned for stealing their souls, to be fair. He was just hungry.
Want your gun to work, your tank to run, you must pray to it. And I mean full stop. You need to start chanting in high Gothic. You need to burn incense. You need to sit on your knees and pray to that car. You need to rub oil on your robes, and you need to go ahomina. Full stop. If you want your damn thing to work, if you want your gun to fire, you need to do that.
No, you guys are right. I gotta pray. Time to buy that one Taiwanese snack and offer to the Omnissiah so that your tech works. I just need to pray harder to the Omnissiah. You guys are right. None of my tech ever works, so I think I just gotta pray.
Very bizarre, and they actually have a bit of a point because it's obviously working. And if you look at them, I don't know how that works. So they obviously know something about what they're doing. The most notable member of the Adeptus Mechanicus is Magos, whatever, Belisarius Call.
It's Farty McFartface himself.
Yeah, this is the group we're talking about. These are these weirdos. Here, the Omnissiah Creed. The credo, Omnissiah.
Light incense, say a prayer, and then change the car's oil. Oh, I do gotta change my car's oil, actually. I actually do have to do that soon. It's a little overdue, actually.
There is no truth in flesh, only betrayal.
Real, true.
There is no strength in flesh.
True, real.
There is no constancy in flesh.
This is, you know what?
Decay. There is no
this
certainty
is real.
in flesh, but death. Flesh is
true.
Weakness.
That went
is
hard.
Death. The omniscient
That line went
is the
hard.
God of the machines, and if you wish to be whole, if you wish to be holy, if you wish to give unto him, you must saw down your limbs and remove your organs and replace them with mechanical parts, because that is what he wants, and that is how you will become enlightened. Hard technophiles.
Wait, so you like become a nugget? You become a nugget? You get nuggetified, and then they add some prosthetics on you. Man, you know, this would have been way hotter if they were all like Chizuru from Chaos Zero Nightmare, where instead of making them nuggets, they just put them all in Shibari. That would have been a little bit hotter, just saying.
Mixed with religious extremism. Dentus Mechanicus. Now, for their army side of things, they are with the Scutari. The Scutari operate with very bizarre weaponry and lots of different kinds of vehicles, tanks, and different people in between. They're very weird, but they have extremely wacky and enjoyable, and in fact quite effective, both in the real game and in the lore, weaponry and gear. Overall, as an army on the tabletop,
that looks freaking crazy. Is this a photo? I'm like, I can't tell what I'm looking at. There's so many. Oh, this is a photo, isn't it? Oh my god. That looks crazy. That looks freaking insane. That's like... My eyes are like having a hard time focusing because of so many things on this. Holy...
Whole bunch of different shenanigans, but if you like kind of that quirky, wacky techno thing, I'd give them a pickup. Hell, they're so paranoid. I gotta keep going. They're so paranoid and crazy. These Dune Striders you see right here, one guy was able to make them work. One guy, and he died. And they're so scared they'll never work again that they keep them on and they never turn them off, and they run around in a circle the whole time until they need them, and then they corral it and they go into battle. Yep.
That sounds crazy.
Dentus Mechanicus. Now, if you want to talk about faith, though, let's talk about the Sisters of Battle.
Oh, yay!
In Lego City.
Lego City?
The Sisters of Battle of the Adeptus.
Okay. Kind of hot. I mean, like, could be hotter, but I would say that's pretty hot.
Sororitas.
I love nuns with guns.
Correctly, is an all-female group of battle sisters going through the ecclesiarchy section of the Imperium. The ecclesiarchy is, of course, the church. This is, imagine a private army of the church.
Oh.
Which is scary, and it is. The sisters are an extreme.
Ooh, I don't like that. Ooh. Oh, I don't like that.
Extremely zealotous force, and they take this to a full extreme. They believe in three main things: faith, martyrdom, and fire. Through the bolter, the flamer.
Okay, this is hot. I don't know about the other ones, but this is hot. But also, I think part of it is, I just don't like when they look realistically human and when they don't look anime, I don't want to see their faces. Kingo calling, thank you so much for the super chat. They drop Joel Osteen's mega churches on their enemies. Not joking. That's crazy. But I like him when they have helmets, because then I don't have to see their very human looking faces. The helmet stays on. Seriously. Actually.
And the Melta, the Sisters of Battle, are extremely potent at taking out chaos and heretics. Mainly heretics, because as they are a fighting section of the ecclesiarchy church, that's the big thing they want to kill. Any form of heretic will face the Emperor's justice through those three main weapons: the bolter, the flamer, and the Melta, and they will do so with extreme prejudice. Literally. They are the closest things we have to nuns in space. And I'm talking hardcore nuns. They carry holy fire on their backs. They have holy books and sigils all across their armor. Their main battle tank is a fucking pipe organ.
Is that an organ? It is.
They have
Wait, that's so funny.
Small babies that they have
the cherubs?
removed their brain capacity to make them little servant cherubs to fly around and give them ammunition and shit. They drop churches
Oh.
from low orbit as mini drop pods onto battles. They drop churches into battles, and they blare war hymns and holy music from their frigates in low atmosphere and shower holy water across the battlefield. These are the people you are dealing with, and they're fucking awesome. They can—
Wait, okay. I like that. That's cool. They drop churches and they just blare like their favorite tunes. You don't go to church, church goes to you. Yeah, you can play your favorite music. You can just play like freaking Caramel Dansen and blare it on the church speakers. That's awesome.
Can literally stave off demons on the tabletop.
This is really nasty.
Because their faith is that strong. Remember the warp, the demons from the warp? Well, the warp also manifests in your mind. All of your emotions, negative and positive, go through the warp. It's the immaterium, the place of all things. So if you are that mentally fortified, that mentally strong, you can stave off horrifying demons.
Oh, wow.
And all these girls, oh, not a crack. Not a crack in that mental armor. Now, as much as a meme as they are—
What the fuck is this? What is this? What am I looking at? What? What? Why does she look like that?
As much as their models look a lot like Ongo.
Wait, it really does look. Oh my god.
Yeah, which I can't unsee anymore. I gotta say, I love their design. I think they're extremely cool. They're another army that I'm currently collecting. They just released a whole new line of figures very recently, and they look wonderful. Everything from Celestine, the living—
Oh, this is, I know this one. Mm-hmm. Because I saw someone do a really cool paint job that happened to look like some other VTuber. That was really cool.
Literally undying saint from the Triumph of Saint Catherine, which is literally a funeral procession as a model. Those organ tanks I mentioned earlier. This shit is the most over-the-top badassery in a lot of the Warhammer universe, and goddamn it, is it over the top. But Sisters of Battle are so cool. While I'm a guardsman at heart, oh, this is such a cool faction. By Bolter Shell, Flamer Burst, and Melta Blast, the mutant, the heretic, and the traitor alike are cleansed of their sin of existence. So it has been for 5 millennia, so shall it be until the end of time.
That goes hard. I like being cleansed of their sin of existence. That's like, that, they're spitting bars over there, Games Workshop. Damn.
And speaking of burning demons.
Oh, that guy's cute. I like this guy. He looks so silly.
The first army I actually collected back in 7th
Oh,
edition.
wait, I like
the Grey Knights
them.
are a super secretive and much more old school look at power armored knights, except they are all psychers. All of them have that crazy space magic magician shit.
It's also important to know that you don't have to like everything. A lot of us drill down a handful of factions to focus on. I think so far, I like the Battle Sisters. I like these guys because they look goofy. And I liked some of the Space Marines, but I already forgot which ones. There's so many. There's so many factions.
Every 100,000 guardsmen, there's one Grey Knight. For every 10,000 Sisters of Battle, there's one Grey Knight. For every 1,000 Space Marines, there's one Grey Knight. Grey Knights are the strongest of the strong, both in mental will and absolute just strength. These are Space Marines that are all high-level psychers, all of them able to specifically do one goal, and that is kill demons. The Emperor believed that the demons of chaos were the #1 threat to the Imperium, and he probably is right. However, this group is entirely based on doing that through a myriad of tactics.
I liked it better when he had his helmet on.
Coming from the planet, or I guess the moon of Titan in the Sol system, the Grey Knights are thrown through extremely rigorous training and are as clear of mind and soul as they possibly can be. Since the demons of the warp are the warp and your mind projects to the warp, people can go insane very fast, especially lower level psychers. These Grey Knights need to be able to harness the warp in the presence of
I like the design a lot. I think they're really cute. They're so chonky. They're so chonky, and they got like cute little helmets. They have like little like silly looking helmets. I like them.
Demons and stay perfectly sane.
They're say
One of the
so.
characters, one of my favorite characters, is named Castellan Crow. He has a demon blade, the black blade of Mahamahama, and he has to have it on him because it tempts everyone nearby, constantly beckoning them. Use my power, use my strength, suck my penis, whatever the possibility. And so he has to keep it on him all the time as this thing whispers to him consistently, and he has to stave it off forever, being alone in his chambers or on the battlefield, because anyone who gets too close to it might be tempted a little too hard. He is that pure of heart and mind, and all the characters in
it
the
is
Grey
the
Knights
sword of mind break. It's the hypnosis sword, you guys. It is the hypnosis sword. He does look like Alphonse from Fullmetal Alchemist, doesn't he?
The only issue is that Grey Knights have a scorched earth policy. More ways than one. If they're fighting demons, demons corrupt and make people crazy. So if I'm a guardsman and I'm fighting demons and the Grey Knights arrive and they kill all the demons, I'm a risk. And so guess who's not making it out of there? On the tabletop, they're very strike fast, strike hard kind of people. They teleport all around the place. They are fast strike
they're
groups,
so cute.
small amounts of models because they're so dang strong. You only have so many characters, but with it, you get in there, you're very tough, very tanky, you hit really hard, and you try to bounce around the battlefield quickly, but you don't have numbers, and so every dead Grey Knight hits really damn hard. They're fun though.
Is that a head? Is that a head? Nocturnal, thanks so much for the 20 biddies. Edward? No, not the dog.
If you like that kind of fast striking kind of army. Oh, and also Caldor Drago.
I don't like that.
We're not even going to get into Caldor Drago. All right, that is, oh my goodness gracious. I am the hammer. I am the mail about his fist.
The hammer! Is that the Warhammer?
I am the spear in his hand.
Have we found the Warhammer Chan?
I am the shield on his arm. I am the flight of his arrows. I am the hammer. I am the sword. I am the shield. I am a soldier at the battle at the end of time.
We found a hammer. So we need to find 39,000 more? 1 out of 40,000 hammers. No, we need to find 39,000 more hammers. Oh, man.
Grey Knights are pretty hardcore. They are as holy as you can get for a Space Marine. If you like Space Marines and you want to, that they're holy enough, you want to be holier, Grey Knights. Now, if you want to be holier and big, let's talk Imperial Knights.
Oh, Lord, he coming.
Do you like gigantic walkers the size of homes or medium-sized buildings? Do you want to kill heretics, but you want to kill like 40 of them per turn? Do you want a gigantic old-school knight noble house style of walkers with...
This guy looks like that guy in Star Wars. You guys know who I'm talking about? He got like a cloak.
Giant
like little spindly hands.
Then you got Imperial Knights. Imperial Knights, it's not a whole lot to talk about them because
this looks like a Bionicle! This is a Bionicle! You can't trick me. This is a Bionicle. This is like like the Bionicle mouthpiece. It's literally a Bionicle. You can't legally distinct. This is just a Bionicle with a turtle shell on his back. Is that why the Warhammer lore is so deep? It's like the Bionicle lore.
They're just gigantic walkers, but they have this old school like house feel to them. Like literally like they're houses. Each Imperial Knight comes from a house, and each of them act in their own special way. These behemoth of walkers also destroy almost everything in their path, killing full swaths of squads in a couple shots, stepping on legions of troops. Like, these things do not mess around, and they look so cool. Imperial Knights and Chaos Knights, actually, for that matter, don't have a whole lot to discuss. They're just super big, heavy walkers, and they look different depending on your house or chaos god you currently believe in. And overall, these things are just really cool.
They look like Bionicles.
Everything in your path. They're the big, scary, big unit of Warhammer, and if you want to collect them, go to town. They make for a great painting project too. Getting more back down to earth. Let's talk something about a little bit different, a little more.
I like my mechs a little chonkier. I feel like those are very top heavy, which I'm not really into. I like this. I think I like the Space Marines a little bit more in terms of, because they look more like Zaku's. These guys, I don't like their skinny legs.
Gold. If guardsmen are regular soldiers, Space Marines are super soldiers, Grey Knights are super soldiers, the Adeptus Custodes are super soldiers cubed. The Adeptus Custodes are the third major army I own. I know, 3 armies.
Banana Men.
I got carried away, okay, but that's all. I only have 3, okay? They are our final brand of Space Marines, but these ones are
Isn't this the Emperor?
Okay, if a guardsman is 6 foot, a Space Marine is 7 feet, a custodian is 8 feet. These are the giant defenders of Holy Terra, which is also Earth. Earth is Terra, Terra themselves. These are the people that literally guard the Emperor's throne room, hence Custodes. These boys protect the Emperor's throne room at all times and are literally like handcrafted people. They're not humans brought up by a gene seer or something. These are all handcrafted super soldiers. I think from a tube. These behemoth of men are like 8 feet, 8.5 feet tall, and functionally immortal. They stand still,
Reinhardt, is that you?
Hundreds of years without the need to sleep, barely even the
nuts.
need to eat, watching over the throne room and every other area of Holy Terra for their entire purpose in life. And oh my lord, are they terrifying. These custodians put Space Marines to shame. If you liked your super soldiers, these are your super mega soldiers. One of these men can take on probably 3 Space Marines and most likely win. There are many different groups of custodians as well, like the Solar Watch.
Oh, that one's cute.
There's also one of my personal favorite, the Aquilan Shield. The Aquilan Shield go
I don't
out
like that
to
one.
seemingly unimportant individuals and protect them because they believe that they are going to be doing something very important in their lives. For instance, let's say a
cats in
regular guardsman
Warhammer.
gets the protection of this giant 8.5 foot tall golden god because that guardsman will end up becoming a general one day or something of that nature. The custodians work in mysterious ways and are almost always outnumbered, but never outmatched.
Wait, these guys are cute though. I like them with their helmets on. I think everyone in Warhammer should just wear a helmet. I have a rule. Can we just make everyone in Warhammer? Because if they all wear helmets, I'm like 90% more attracted to them. I don't want to see their faces. I think this is so cute. Look at him. He's got a little like beak. It's so cute. And he's so chunky. I like this guy too. Wait, these guys are so cute.
These people are pretty horrifying, both on the tabletop as well as in the lore. There are very few of them, however, and there's actually an extremely small amount of them. But that's kind of the point. There's only so many of these people that can have war gear this strong, weapons this powerful, and training this good. The custodians have all 3 of it. For 100 years, I stood my watch amidst the somber shadows of the Sanctum Imperialis. I was still as a statue, but always ready, always attuned to dangers unseen. Days, months, years passed by in a frenzied blur beyond those walls, yet within, little moved and nothing changed. For 100 years, I did not but wait, yet had any threat appeared, I would have struck it down in a heartbeat. For 100 years, I stood my watch, and as it ends, I can tell you this: patience is a weapon. The custodians are the top dogs of the Imperium, and they hurt just that same way. Though I do want to discuss a little bit about the Sisters of Silence before we get out of here, because the Sisters of Silence I also have a few of.
Her hair is crazy.
They're really
fun, all their hairs are crazy.
But they don't get enough attention. These kind of bald plume ladies.
This is like Zuko in Avatar. This is like Zuko in Avatar, right? Didn't he have, wasn't this his hair?
Are a whole group of pariahs, or also known as blanks. We'll be referring to them as blanks from now on. So as every mind is somewhat connected to the warp, these blanks are a genetic mutation that has it suppressed heavily. Because of that mind suppression, normal people feel this weird, like, uncomfortable nature when around them. When a sister of silence walks past them, you feel ill. You feel just uncomfortable and strange. So most of them don't actually live past childhood, because once they are birthed, they're, well, you know, killed or something at a very young age, because they just emit a horrifying aura. These ladies, however, are guardians of the throne as well for more psychic threats. See, none of the custodians
like her
are
pointy
psychics,
boobs.
so they have a difficult time dealing with major demons and other kinds of psychic phenomena. These sisters are extremely specialized in it, all of them taking a vow of silence as they don't speak, hence the term Sisters of Silence, but they communicate through hand gestures and things of that nature. But if there's a demon issue,
they do American
if there's any
Sign
kind
Language.
of warp-based problem, the sisters are extremely adept at dealing with them, thanks to their blank gene. They normally work a lot of time with the custodians because they have to deal with both kinds of threats, but they're not represented that way on the tabletop.
This one looks like she has 2 ponytails. It's kind of funny. Enjoying your 40K indoctrination? Yeah, I'm learning a lot.
In fact, they only have like one real model for them, which is very unfortunate. I hope they'll get something new soon, because I think they should really be working together as it is that way in the lore, but hopefully we'll get there soon. But if we're talking about blanks, let's talk assassins.
Stridey, thank you so much for 5 gifted memberships. I really appreciate it. Be sure to thank Stridey if you received a gifted membership. Thank you so much. I hope you're feeling better, Stridey. Thank you so much for stopping by. Nice gifts, yeah. Whoa. This is like superhero Marvel.
We're about to round it out. We got this and one more human thing, and then we're done. The assassins, though, the Officio Assassinorum, oh boy, these people are deadly. Yeah, they're called assassins. They should be, but oh man, these people will mess you up. So these are from the Officio Assassinorum, a very special organization, and they are handpicked by the Grand Master of the Officio Assassinorum from the, what was it called? Schola Progenium.
Okay.
It's basically an orphan school. Your parents got murdered by demons or something, you get sent to this and you get trained to be whatever. Tempestus Drop Troop, an Inquisitor, maybe.
Ooh,
even.
cool.
Maybe you get a blank gene and you get thrown into the Sisters of Silence, or sometimes you just disappear. When you are taken, however, you go to one of 4 temples, because the Assassinorum works in a temple style of things. These temples are the Vindicare, Caluxus, Calidus, and Eversor temples. Let's start with the Vindicare. I'm far away. I've been sitting here for 3 weeks.
3 weeks?
The Vindicare temple is the main sniper-based temple. Gigantic sniper rifles for all these assassins. Their whole point is to be able to be in a spot and sit there, eye and scope, for weeks, waiting for their perfect target, taking people out from literal miles away after extremely long time periods.
Okay, wait, is he wearing a bodysuit or is that his skin? Is he wearing a bodysuit or is he just really not wearing very much at all? It's a bodysuit. Very tight.
Is about
very tight bodysuit.
Perfect aim. There have been reports of Vindicares being able to single out particular body parts from over 2-3 miles away. Temples in the head, the jugular, for instance, and been sitting there after weeks. And when they're ready, take that shot. Time is done. Packs them up. The Calidus Temple, however, is a lot more about shape-shifting and deviant art. It's mostly a female-based one,
Her boobies!
It seems to be, and this allows a lot of body augmentation for certain individuals to be able to kind of transmorph themselves and infiltrate areas that are problems. These assassins will end up taking missions that take
this art looks so different than all the other art we've seen.
Years to infiltrate a heretical group and slowly work their way up, just to get enough time to put a bullet into the main target's head and then escape unharmed, or become the main target and sabotage it from within. These are all completely about deception, mind tricks, polymorphing, and everything in between, and lots of drawings. Lots of drawings. The Eversor Temple. Just kind of disturbing one. The Eversor Temple is about when you don't want anything to come back alive, friend or foe. You want it all dead. And Eversor is psychogenically conditioned with just
this guy. Okay, this guy doesn't look like a Warhammer character. This guy just looks like a. This guy looks like the new Deadlock character or something.
Psychotherapy and psychological
He looks like he's gonna be the next Deadlock character.
Only feel violence, hatred, and anger. It does the Clockwork Orange style of thing of just making you forced to watch never-ending pain and misery and psycho conditioning.
Mind break,
I guess is the term.
Mind break.
They pump you full of tons of psychedelic drugs, and they cryo freeze you.
Oh my god.
And they drop
tag
you in
drugs.
An area where they just want to
tag
make sure
break.
everything is dead. And then you defrost full of just all this insane, mind-boggling
I thought he was gonna say mind break.
And psychedelic drugs, and you just go to town. Yeah, if you don't care if anyone comes back alive. You're like, all right, lost cause. Send them in. Finally, there's the most bizarre temple, the Caluxus Temple. The Caluxus assassins.
This guy looks like the last guy.
Even among the other temples. So that blank gene, the people will go to the Caluxus Temple with this as well. And this is where they can harness that to be massively anti-psyker or even just anti-regular people. They're seen with extreme fear and distrust among many, many people. They're described by the Eldar by quote as being pure evil. Imagine that uncomfortable feeling from that.
This poor guy. This guy is probably playing some brain rot music on loop. This guy he's just old. This guy's just old, and this guy's just playing Zoomer music too loud. Poor guy.
That blank gene I mentioned, and then imagine them being taught and given equipment.
He got hit by the 6-7. Me when someone says 6-7. Oh no. I like how it's just him, and they're like just chilling, and he's like, "Shut up."
To amplify it by 100. If normally regular people feel uncomfortable, now they are basically akin to being a siren wailing directly in your ear. And if you're a psyker, oh no. The sheer presence of a Caluxus assassin is enough for you to tear your skin off. You would rather gouge your eyes out and rip your nails off than even being near this person. The Caluxus assassin is when you want psychers to literally lose their minds, and they will go on their knees and ask you to gun them down because it is a suitable choice over being anywhere near you. The motto of that temple is, "That which is unknown and unseen commands the greatest fear." Now, for the tabletop, assassins
they can't just go to the Emperor then, and they can't just like mind break the Emperor.
Aren't that special. You can call them in no matter what Imperium faction you are, and they do a lot of work for themselves, but at the same time, they're very specialized and require a lot of finesse. And they work the way you generally want them to, though. You want to cause some distortion and weird stuff, you take a Calidus. You want to just murder swaths of infantry and then blow up Eversor. You want to kill that one guy, Vindicare, and if you have a lot of Psychers, Caluxus. It's a nice little, like, jack of all trades if you have a specific thing you want to kill. And you get to choose which is really fun. But now, let's talk about the last human faction. We can round this video out before we do part 2.
Oh yeah, the girl is a new Hay. You're so right.
And we have a lot to talk about with them.
Well, on the subject of heresy!
Oh boy. Where do I even begin with the Inquisition? Take every secret police you can think of. The KGB, the Gestapo, the CIA, FBI, any of these kinds of people. And then mark it up by about 10 and give them the most power in the entire Imperium. No, you know what? How about this? This right here, it's not just a quote. This is the imperial motto, the motto of the Inquisition. I apologize for my bad pronunciation. Innocentia nihil probat. Innocence proves nothing.
That's crazy.
The most powerful organization in the Imperium, the secret police, their #1 motto is innocence proves nothing. The Inquisition goes around like the secret police or like detectives to find issues in the Imperium.
It's like a witch, like a vampire hunter.
Depending on which one we're talking about. The Ordo Hereticus, the Ordo Xenos, the Ordo Malleus, for instance, and a whole bunch of other ones. Hereticus is obvious, they deal with heretics. Xenos tries to find alien threats, and Malleus is demons. They all have different specializations in what they're trying to go for as this Inquisitor. And that's what they're called, Inquisitors. Each of them, as an Inquisitor, has their own free reign to do as they wish. They may have a ship and a crew, and they go out to find problems and interrogate people a lot. They are above the law in every department over Space Marines. Now, the Space Marines might argue against them and stuff, and there might be a lot of blowback, but technically they are above them.
Wait, so they also serve the Emperor? Or are they also serving Primarchs? I think I might have missed that. Emperor? I mean, if they're above Space Marines, I'm assuming it's Primarchs? Everyone serves the Emperor. They're above the Primarchs. Oh, so they like serve the Emperor directly? They serve... Oh... These are all human factions. So do they all the human factions all serve the Emperor? Inquisitors serve the Emperor and no one else. Gotcha.
As Inquisitors, they are looking to investigate and figure out coups and cults. And
he's one of the cherubs.
Possible Xenos issues like gene stealers or a new threat coming into an area. They're about learning that stuff and actually doing detective work. And memes aside, they're pretty good at it. The Inquisition having all of this power does make them a little bit power hungry and frantic sometimes. And yes, it is still a bad thing, but most of them are pretty good at their job.
Whoa.
And they spend a lot of time being very diligent to make sure that all of these leads they follow are proper and correct. They're basically space detectives with just enormous power and sometimes a bit of a power complex. And we haven't even talked about Exterminatus yet. Exterminatus is deeming a planet unfit to be saved. I deem that this planet is demon infested and taking it back will cost too many resources and is not worth it. I have now committed Exterminatus on this planet. I will now sign the death warrant of an entire Imperium planet.
You can do that?
As it is unfit to take and better to be destroyed than allow the enemy to hold it. This can mean saturation bombardment. This can mean cracking the planet's core and breaking it apart. Doesn't matter. Render this planet inhospitable to all life.
Oh, wow.
Yes, the innocence proves nothing people are the only people who can choose this planet must die in its entirety. Yeah, you're playing the villain. Now, it is memed a lot, but most Inquisitors are very rare to do Exterminatus. Exterminatus is a very crazy thing. There's only so many worlds that you don't want to destroy all of them. Now, naturally, with the memes aside, there are some people who are a little bit rough on this one.
Who's that? Who's that? Who's Fidus Cryptman? Why are they named like this? Cryptman is a terrible name. Okay, so what's the meme, chat? Someone explain to me the meme. Cavill Hemsworth was supposed to be an Inquisitor for the Amazon show. Not sure anymore. Oh, that's right. They're making a 40K Amazon show. I forgot about that. Did that not get cancelled? He blew up a lot of worlds. Cryptman exploded hundreds of planets to starve out space spiders. It's all Logs' fault is what you're saying. Better than Gundam names. You know, that's fair. It's in limbo last I heard. Oh. He tried to Exterminatus a wall across half the galaxy. What? Logs, what's your beef with Fidus Cryptman? Old Henry Cavill's working on it. Oh, right. Henry Cavill's like a director, right? Or something. He's like really high up in that in the show, right? It's a genius idea to kill everyone in line to direct one big enemy to another big enemy, both of which get more dangerous the more they fight. Director or producer, gotcha. He plays the Golden Boys. He tried to stop Tyranids and destroy hundreds of planets.
But most Inquisitors generally don't like to do Exterminatus a ton, but it is an option they have. And it's a crazy option when you think about it.
Wait. Definitely not gay for Celestine. Oh, she's not. Oh, they got a thing. Celestine is the one with the wings, right?
Police Inquisition are unfortunately not represented on the tabletop very much. You generally kind of put one in your army if you feel like it. You have a couple special options there and some side content, but they're not really fleshed out very well, and personally they need a lot more stuff put in there, and they really need a lot more effort put into them, and they're not quite where I want them to be. Overall, the Inquisition makes for a lot of the best storytelling as well, because it's a little bit hard to talk about a big story of a whole bunch of Space Marines killing something, right? It's just a big battle story. It's not as interesting. Having that intrigue and that moral dilemma that an Inquisitor has makes for a lot better media. And honestly, the more people do it, I think it's better, because then it adds a little more humanity to the Warhammer horrible, horrible grimdarkness. And wow, we just finished the humans, all right? Come back for part 2 when we talk about Chaos and Xenos, because we got to talk about the 4 Chaos Gods and all the Chaos Marine Legions and the Tau and the Necrons and the Orcs, and oh boy, we got a lot. I'll see you in part 2.
Thank you, Bricky, for part 1. He was the man who first discovered the Tyranids, the space roaches. He exterminated many planets to slow their advances into the universe. The rest of the Inquisition didn't like that. Not so far. It's a lot of information. My brain is expanding and doing my best to try to keep up with all of the information. I think it's also a little bit more difficult. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. It's very helpful for me to ask you guys questions, because then I can get clarification. But it's also really difficult for me to pay attention 100%, since I'm also like trying to see chat and I'm trying to like talk to you guys. So it's been, I feel like I have to rewatch this. I feel like after the stream, I have to like sit and just rewatch this in silence. My favorite so far. What did we have? We had so many. I'm trying to look at all of them so I can remember. I like the Space Marines. I like the nice guys. Yeah, I like the nice guys. I also like this is like Samus. I like Samus. And I like the Dark Angels, even though apparently they suck or whatever. I think the Adeptus Mechanicus is cool. I like the concept. I think the concept is very cool. I like the idea of like them worshiping technology and being like afraid of technology failing, because their entire like well-being is based off of technology. You know, Nocturnal, thank you so much for the super chat. Cassandra the Mad would disapprove of skipping over the dreadnoughts so casually. Which ones are the dreadnoughts? Oh man, you guys, there's so many. There's just so many different factions. The Sisters of Battles are really cool too. I like that they're like so. The concept of they are so mentally strong that they can't be corrupted is really cool. And I like their design when they have the helmets on. I don't like it when they don't have the helmets on. I wish everyone would just keep the helmets on. I like the Sisters of Battles. I like the Grey Knights, but I'm sad that you guys said that they don't really get much. I think they just look goofy. Look at them. They just look so silly goofy. Imperial Knights. What were these? Oh, the Bionicles. I don't care for the Bionicles. These guys, I like it when they have their helmets on, but I don't really care about their lore all that much. They don't really interest me. They're like fine, I guess. And the Silence Sisters of Silence, not a big fan either. I think it's interesting that they have like a gene that is particularly good, and that's kind of how they're picked. And that they take a vow of silence. I don't know why they take a vow of silence. I feel like that would be cool for some Like I'd be curious about the lore about that. Like why are they taking a vow of silence, I guess? The church wasn't allowed to have men at arms, so they only recruited women. For this one, for the vow of silence, the silence, Sisters of Silence. I also do think it's cool that they use sign language, or at least that's what's implied, right? That they can speak sign language. Scarecrow, thank you so much for the super chat. I can't wait for you to see Astartes. Someone mentioned that earlier. Did someone mention that, or did Bricky mention that? The assassins are all, I don't like the assassins. I think they freak me out. I don't like the bodysuit. I don't like that. I don't like this. I don't like that. And then, oh, Astartes are the Space Marines. Oh, yeah, I saw, those were the first ones that I saw. The Inquisition, the Inquisitors, I think that's a really cool concept. I like the idea that they're like these detectives and they have supreme power and they have the ability to blow up planets. And like Bricky said, I feel like that really adds a sort of level of humanity that makes lore interesting. Thank you so much, Metal Matias, for the dono. Dreadnoughts are basically giant mechs that are commandeered by injured space marines as a walking sarcophagus to serve the emperor until death. So that sentence only truly ends in death. Oh, that's pretty cool. Did we see the dreadnoughts, or is that just like one of the space marine thingies? Is that just one of the space marine big thingies? I skipped in. It's a space marine thing. It's a space marine unit. Okay. Yeah, the custodes. Those guys are cool. I like the concept of the custodes too. I don't really know if I have a favorite yet. I feel like because we've gotten such a very large overview, it's really hard to say. I feel like I have to see it a little bit more, but I'm just biased towards the Sisters of Battle because they're women. Because they have boobs. And they're kind of hot. And I like that they have wings. And I like that they drop churches on people. I think that's funny. The sex demons are coming? Okay. Well, you have my interest. I think you'll like the Xenos more. Okay. I'm curious to see. Alright. Let's go into the next video. Might as well go right into it. Every time I see this logo, I think it's Char's like chest on his uniform.
Hey all, this is part 2 in a 2-part series on the
Ramsey,
Warhammer
thank you so much for the super chat.
If you haven't seen part 1 yet, we do the Imperium of Man. You can check that out in the description.
It's Custodes. Oh, sorry.
To get context
Custodes nuts.
If you already have, go ahead and keep on watching. So
oh yeah, and the Blood Angels have femboys, right?
We can now talk about chaos, which involves humans again. But a little bit less, we also got demons and shit.
Ooh, I like that. I like big bird dragon guys.
So, as I've mentioned many times before, we've discussed the warp, the immaterium, the hellish landscape, the purgatory dimension realm between the material realm of our existence. Now, in the warp, it's terrifying, horrible. There are demons everywhere. Things are crazy. All your minds and thoughts and emotions get projected there. It is both formless and empty. It is vast and tiny. It obeys the laws of time and physics while simultaneously does absolutely nothing of the sort. It is a hodgepodge and a culmination of just unknowable, eldritch, horrifying shit. And there are 4 gods that permeate in chaos and the warp. These are the 4 major chaos gods. And if we wish to learn about chaos, we need to learn about each and every single one of these chaos gods. First up, we have Khorne, and he is the easiest. Khorne is your classic Satan. He is all about anger, murder, fighting, blood, guts, death. You ever heard the term blood for the blood god, skulls for the skull throne? That's Khorne. The whole idea is that he is all about the fury and strength of battle. He doesn't care where blood comes from, so long as blood is flowing. He wants to fight and murder and carnage and slaughter and death.
This is the tummy hurt god.
That is Khorne. Very simple to understand. Next up, you have Tzeentch, and Tzeentch is the god of change. However, the god of change, it's
corn for the cornflakes. Blood for your cornflakes. What is happening? The carnage
permeates in so many different other ways. He's the most eldritch of all
Zeech
the demon
nuts.
gods. He has this weird way to always be plucking at the strings of the universe. He's always conniving and scheming and doing his best to cause as much little bullshit as he can. Zeech is unknowable. Everything that makes sense, he will and won't do. Every future and setting and every type of destiny or fate is all foretold and also changeable. It is set in stone while also completely random. He knows what everything is going to happen and also that none of it's going to happen. You would ask Zeech a question.
Okay, wait, wait, good question. Would you stick your pee-pee into the Zeech's tummy? I mean, yes, next question. Yes and no. Maybe. What are questions really? Hear me out. I mean, I don't even need to hear you out. I'm just looking and just saying. I'm just saying, it just looks ripe for the picking, you know what I mean? Super Iron Bob, thank you for the super chat. I mean, if you're curious. Yeah. I mean, I am. Look at that tongue. Yeah, what that tongue do though?
And also that none of it's going to happen. You would ask Zeech a question. And that question leads to 3 more questions. And those questions lead to the heat death of the universe, which asks 4 answers to those questions. And then he thinks to himself, what are questions even really? And are you even asking the questions? Or are you simply giving paths to answers? And
that was just like my question, you guys. Wow, now we're really thinking like Zeech. That was just like my question. Would you stick your pee-pee in Zeech's tummy? I think he would appreciate that question. He seems like the guy that would appreciate my question.
And other horse shit. Zeech is just, I'm gonna fuck with stuff. He is yes and he is no. He is the understanding and he is complexity. He is unknowable. And that's what the God of Change is about. Very bizarre. And he likes birds a lot. I don't know.
I like birds. What is this guy? What's like a bird man? Well, I don't like that actually.
Next up, we got Papa Nurgle. Papa Nurgle, he loves you for...
Wait, he's cute! I like Nurgle. Nurgle, look at him. He's so cute. He's just a little guy. Aww. He reminds me of Kha'Zix and who am I thinking of? Who's the roly-poly one? Who's the roly-poly one? He looks like the roly-poly. Why am I suddenly forgetting? Not Tom Kench. Man, I can't remember. I haven't played League in so long. He looks like the roly-poly League character that I like, that spits the little ball at you. Not Ramus, the other one. He like Kog'Maw. Yeah, he looks like Kog'Maw. Aww, he's cute. I like him. I think Kog'Maw is so adorable, you guys.
Who you are? Probably not.
Yojin not thank you so for 2 months of membership. Nurgle D's nuts.
Pestilence, death, and decay. He is the end of everything. Him and Zeech do not like each other very much because where Zeech represents change and adjustment, Nurgle represents stagnation and death. He is all about miasma and pestilence and large bloat and pus and organs and people just being sedentary, sloth. He is the idea that everything
I like the other Nurgle
and
better.
Decay and die. Nothing is certain besides decay and death. All of us will end up the same way.
He is the god of bed rotting.
Just sheer, never-ending decomposition.
I don't like that.
So the joke that Nurgle always loves you is generally because of that. Because we all end up the same.
I don't like the maggots in it.
Rot, and we all die and wither. That's Nurgle, and he's got a general theme of course, pestilence.
He's the god of your acid reflux is crazy. He literally, oh no, I don't like him so much anymore. I hate acid reflux.
And different kinds of diseases and sickness and things of that nature. That's generally Nurgle. He's pretty easy to understand as well, and he chunk. Finally, we have the youngest of the.
This is crazy. This is crazy. Wait, have you guys seen that meme of the like when they have like a hand and then they censor all the fingers in different ways, but it's like one finger is like a mosaic, the second finger is like a beam of light, the third finger is like just the black bars, and then the fourth finger is like a black bar only on the tip. Which is your favorite censor? Uncensored. Next question.
Chaos gods, and that is Slaanesh, also known as the Prince of Pleasure or the God of Unspeakable Excess.
My God, femboy.
Slaanesh is generally referred to with sex, but it's not only sex, it's just that's a good avenue if you want to make stuff. Slaanesh is just the idea of the senses of the body being cranked to not just 11, but more like 17. See, we'll discuss Slaanesh a little bit more when we talk about the Eldar, because they done fucked up, but it or whatever is mainly about just the excess of
okay, would you do this Slaanesh chat? This Slaanesh has like 4 boobies. The more the merrier, no? And that tongue could probably really, you know. That's too many boobies? What do you mean too many boobies? There's no such thing as too many boobies. This has just become your hear me out, hasn't it? This is too weird even for me. No crab claws on the— oh, you're right. The crab claws are a little intimidating, aren't they? It's like snip, snip.
Emotions, and therefore sex is generally a large part of it. However, it's mostly pain and torture.
Is there fingers inside this guy's skin? Is that like the fingers going underneath the skin? Dude, this is just like my hentai. We saw this happen in Sengoku Rants yesterday. This literally happened with fucking Xavier. It happened with Xavier and Kurohime. This literally happened. Except he grabbed her, like, intestines or whatever. Scratched her itchy intestines. Something like that.
Lots of pain, torture, but sometimes sexually related or drug related. Lots of drugs. Lots of drugs. So
lots of drugs.
Gets off on everything. Extremes in happiness, extremes in sadness, extremes in pain and sadism and masochism. And of course that goes along with the sex part of it as well. It's generally referred to with sex because of the color scheme, very purple, lots of exposed genitalia. A lot of their models have like exposed nipples and stuff. And that is generally the theme you go for from a physical side, but it really embodies everything.
And lots of crab claws.
And also the excessive
big meaty claws.
Amounts of emotion. So when it comes down to it, you'll find a lot of
them
have things like—
how many boobs is that? That's 3 sets. That's a 6-pack. That's a 6-pack, but of boobs. That's a lot of boobs. Instead of having abs, why have abs when you could have boobs?
Spikes or whips
or
any
pack.
kind of BDSM style gear, because it is unspeakable excess, the Prince of Pleasure, everything in excess to the point where it is just sheer frightening. That is Slaanesh in a nutshell. A little bit bizarre and a little hard to describe sometimes, but as we talk more about the Dark Eldar later in this video, you'll understand it far, far better and far more than you'd want to. Now you might be thinking, why would anyone ever want to join chaos. They all look horrifying, screwed up, and just frightening things, right? Well, the thing is that, of course, one, your mind is put into the warp and the immaterium, so you can be easily swayed by chaos demons when they get into your head, especially if you're a psyker. Sometimes regiments of the less mentally strong people, whether they be civilians or, say, low-level guardsmen or conscripts, can be easily swayed by this and become chaos cultists and stuff, and they serve their dark gods and whatever god
the hypnosis
they personally refer. However, and this might seem strange, chaos in their own right isn't necessarily evil. See, the warp is every manifestation of emotion and being, every soul, everything of existence. This includes all the good things. All the different chaos gods have another side to their coin. Khorne might be death, murder, slaughter, slaughter, but he's also got this weird sense of survival of the fittest, trial by combat, and honor. Khorne will never lie to you. Khorne will never stab you in the back. Khorne isn't about conniving and scheming. Khorne is about straight up mano-y-mano, you versus me, get in the ring, we're gonna murder each other hard right now. It may not be a good thing at the end of the day, but it is that other side of the coin. Him and Tzeentch generally don't get along because Tzeentch is that conniving schemer, but he's also about the idea of...
Okay, but his Tamasi is really low. I'm just saying... He might as well, it might as well just be, you know, I'm just saying.
Hope. Where there is change for your predicament. There is change for your problem. The hope of the galaxy, the ability to bend the world to your will, the idea that your fate is not set in stone, but in reality that you control your own destiny and can control it whenever you want. The changer of ways. That is Tzeentch. And of course, Tzeentch and Nurgle hate each other because while Nurgle does represent stagnation, death, and decay, he also represents finality and ending. The fact that you can be mentally at peace knowing that you will end and how you will.
Oh, that Nurgle's so cute.
Fear of change is not present with Nurgle. With Nurgle, everything will rot and die, and that provides that finality, that ability that this is over. We are all the same, and we will all end the same. We know the meaning of life. The meaning of life is to live and die and rot. And with that, it brings peace of mind. Slaanesh is a lot more simple. While they are the excess of emotion, they are also the representation of emotion. Slaanesh embodies happiness. Slaanesh embodies excitement and joy and pleasure, not only in the sense of the physical, you know, bam style of pleasure, but also everything else like food and drink and air on your cheek and sunlight, the feeling, emotion and feeling. All of that is also represented with Slaanesh. So you have to ask, why are they always represented as super evil skulls and spikes on everything and want to murder everybody? I don't really got an answer for you on that one. My assumption is that because mentally humans may think worse thoughts even if we don't act on them, and therefore they're projected in the warp more. That one's a little bit weird. I don't know.
Thank you so much for the 100 biddies, Ian Jr. It's part of why you can never really kill a chaos god. How do you kill happiness or curiosity? I mean, I kind of like the chaos gods a lot. I feel like this is the type of lore stuff that I like. The whole idea of, oh, yeah, everybody might be evil, but I like when there are these characters who are like, well, are they evil? Like, you look at them at a different perspective and like maybe they're not so evil, or they represent something else like that is just evil when taken in excess and stuff like that. And I think that's always really cool. So I like the chaos gods a lot.
Oh, this is me spitballing right now, but I don't know. You need a super bad guy. You already got the Imperium of Man. You need somebody to be a little bit worse than them. So you got demons. Honestly, who cares? I just want to buy like a bird magician. Look at him. So cool. So
yeah, the bird magician is cool. Wait, I like all these little monster guys. Okay, I don't like the freaking ghosts from Ghostbusters stacking on top of you. There's a Ghostbuster orgy over here. I don't like that. But I like these monster guys. Like, I like these stingray looking guys and these Zoid looking guys. And I like the bird guy.
Finding all this together on the tabletop, Chaos Demons are generally very melee based. They run in, go really hard. You have lots of summoning and conjuring, tons of spells. Generally a little bit frail, but they have special saves to make them a little bit stronger. You've got giant demons and smaller demons. You've got hordes of little boys and tons of big guys. Demons are as they seem. Demons. Nurgle is slow. Khorne is super scary in melee. You've got Tzeentch, who are far more into psychers and spellcasting, and then Slaanesh, who is all melee, really fast but squishy.
I like how they're all like booby demon ladies who are wearing very little clothing. I like the little guys that they're riding on, though. I like these guys. They're so cute.
But in lots of hordes of tons of melee and pain damage, of course. So overall, the demons are a huge part of 40k and a massive threat to almost every single faction, with the exception of a couple. However, the big part about demons is also transferred into the other
snake horses they're riding also have titties. Wait. Where? Are these blobs their boobs? Are these blobs boobies? Maybe? Yes? Oh my god. Just put a boob on everything. You know, I was talking to Kana today and I sent her I don't remember why we were talking about boobs. Oh, I remember. But anyway, we were talking about boobs, and then we were talking about Magmar, and we're talking about how Magmar's name in Japanese is like booby. And then we were like, and I said, maybe Magmar's name is Booby because he got like Boober. And I was like, maybe he's Boober because he got boobs on his head. And then she was like laughing. And then I sent her a GIF from Little Nicky. Does anybody remember Little Nicky? This really old Adam Sandler movie. Really, God, you're old. Shut up. You're old for knowing that too, okay? That's all I'm gonna say. I was just thinking that. Yeah. The Adam Sandler Devil movie, yeah. And the guy that had the boobs on his head. And I was telling Kana, because she was like, what is that from? And I was like, oh, it's from Little Nicky. And this guy wears like a bra on his head for like half the movie. Because he gets like cursed. He gets punished by his dad, who's like the devil. Yeah. Anyway.
Melee and pain damage, of course. So overall, the demons are a huge part of 40k and a massive threat to almost every single faction, with the exception of a couple. However, the big part about demons is also transferred into the other 9 Primarchs we didn't talk about, which are the Chaos Space Marines.
Huh? Chaos Space Marines?
So Horse and all of his boys, all of them in the Primarchs, they have all also become Chaos Boys, and they all have their own special Chaos Legions, specializing in so many different things.
That's right, because the Chaos
like the
whispered
Astartes,
to them, they
the
said.
Death, the regular Space Marines.
Oh, this guy looks
Space
Gundam
Marines are a
me.
whole lot different than the regular Space Marines. They have the same armor, generally the same training and toughness. They just specialize in different kinds of things. And also a lot of the Primarchs have ascended into greater demons. Is it greater demons? They're demon Primarchs at this point. Gigantic, horrifying man-demon hybrids that are pretty awesome.
What the hell?
Honest, they look really
crazy.
Cool. But them and their associated legions that they are a part of are all kind of going out there and causing a large ruckus for everyone else. Considering the raw strength and firepower of a legion of Space Marines, imagine that entire legion just converting to chaos and immediately fighting you. It's generally pretty horrifying. There's a lot of them, so I gotta write them down. But you've got the Emperor's Children with Primarch Fulgrim, loyal to Slaanesh. These people, they are some messed up people.
I don't like that.
Sensory overload, tons of drugs, tons of torture.
That one has a boob.
Fulgrim is a demon Primarch right now, and oh god, I am terrified to see what that man looks like, at least on the tabletop, because Emperor's children are not good people. You've got the Iron Warriors, which are kind of like opposite of the Imperial Fists, with Primarch Perturabo, I believe is his name. They're Chaos Undivided. They just kind of serve Chaos in a general aspect instead of choosing one of the four. But the Iron Warriors are big on the siege and fortification, and they're basically entirely against the Imperial Fists and a major rival. Perturabo, I believe, is also still alive, and I'm also very interested to see what he looks like, because Demon Primarchs are badass. You've got the Night Lords with Primarch Conrad Kurz. Conrad Kurz is dead, which is good because he's a sick fuck. But the Night Lords are generally about terror, terrorizing people, and terrorism. They're generally about fear, and rightly so. You've got the World Eaters with Primarch Angron, still alive, also excited to see. Angron, if you think you've known an angry person, Angron is the angriest son of a bitch you will ever know. Angron removed parts of his brain that didn't make him angry, so he could be angrier. Angron. Fucker's mad. You've got
he sounds like the internet. But
the Death Guard with Primarch Mortarion. They actually have their own special codex and their own major army on the tabletop. Mortarion himself is actually one of the models, and look at him.
Whoa, that's really beautiful. Wow, they painted like the colors on this one's so nice. I haven't really seen a Warhammer paint that looks this like soft before from the official. I don't know if this is official, but it feels really soft, you know? But also, thanks for stopping by. If you're heading out, good night or have a good rest of your day. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. Airbrush. Look at the eyes and the wings. Yeah, these look crazy up here. It's the official model. Wait, someone said it's fan-made. Someone said it's the official model. This is really nice. It's really beautiful.
Look at him. It's so cool looking. Of course, Nurgle based, obviously. So very slow, but very tanky. You've got the Word Bearers with Primarch Lorgar. Lorgar is, I believe, still alive. I don't know.
Oh, fan paint job. Gotcha.
The Word Bearers are generally the people who caused all the major problems in the beginning. At least I blame them for it. They're little assholes. You got the Black Legion with Primarch Horus. Get fucked, nerd. You've got the Alpha Legion with Primarch Alfarius Omega.
Oh, this is cute. This one, he looks like a little fish guy. I like him. He got little scales, and he's like, you know, it's like trident-y stuff. Looks like a Poseidon-y thing. Very cute. I like the aqua and the purples. Very cute.
I think. And then finally, you've got the Thousand Sons with Primarch Magnus the Nerd. The Thousand Sons also have their own book, just like the Death Guard. Magnus is also a tabletop model. He looks super cool, as you can tell, and they're all super heavily Psyker and kind of Egyptian themed. They look pretty neat. But overall, with all of these Chaos Space Marine factions, you can play as a lot of different ones, but the main ones that you can really work at are standard Space Marines, Chaos Space Marines, as well as the Death Guard and Thousand Sons, as they are the most fleshed out, especially on the tabletop at least. See this right here? This is a really good way to describe the Chaos Space Marines. What the thick-headed fools with their broken corpse of an emperor fail to understand is that not only can they never defeat us, but they cannot hide or flee or shield themselves from the triumph of chaos. They are finite and we are unbound, undivided. They must not err, or they shall fall to heresy. All who fall join our cause. Every imperial fool who dares to open his eyes is a willing recruit. They strive merely to hold back our fury and might, and it consumes them. Thus, you can see chaos is inevitable. We lurk not only beyond their grasp and at their gates, we lurk within the darkness of their souls, on the tip of their tongues, in their tortured dreams. We are them, but freed from the shackles of ignorance. We are them, grown strong, evolved. We are them, but so much more. As hardcore as that quote is, the saddest part is they're mostly right. Chaos is basically unkillable. You could probably get rid of Space Marines, a decent amount, the Chaos Space Marines that is, but every soul that dies goes to the warp. Every Chaos soul will end up back in the warp. And depending on how hard you killed them, they will come back at some point. Every demon you banish will return at some point. Chaos is unstoppable. The warp is unending. And while maybe there is at some point some way to stop them somehow, the resources to do so, the requirements to do so, are so far beyond the reaches of man and the other races at the current moment that really it's just an unstoppable force that just keeps on coming. And
so I have a question. Does that mean all of the like stories that take place with Warhammer, is it more like it's not like there's like a winner or loser type thing. Is it more like, oh, here's this one tidbit of this one war that happened in the many, many years of these many, many wars, and here's like the story of one particular character or something like that? Effectively, yes. Depends on the writer pretty much. That's the gist of it. Gotcha. I would consider it all fan fiction because it never moves the canon forward. Right, so it's like the setting is literally a setting and there's no future in it, technically. So it's more like any written story is gonna just be like explaining to you a little bit of what has already happened, I guess. Big sandbox, yeah. That makes sense. Perpetual war. It's made some progress, but it's been over decades. If there is a future, it moves very slowly ahead. Oh, I see. Events do happen, characters die, etc. Oh. Characters can die? Like... Sorry to sneeze. It's like they can... Like, you could, like, one day, one of the chaos gods could suddenly just not exist anymore. They haven't moved the overall plot until recently. Oh, like how recently? Plot armor doesn't exist. Characters die, but even more evil takes their place. The gods not so much. Named characters though, yes. Okay, gotcha. Some beloved characters got killed recently off screen by some of the lamest factions. Oh no. Last 5 years? Okay. Yeah, because the franchise is so old, so it's kind of hard to tell like what is considered recent, right? Baden, thanks so much for the super chat. From the 90s all the way until 2015, they never moved the story forward. Actual plot started happening since 2018. Oh wow. I see.
And it's just barely being slowed. Chaos is by far the biggest threat. They are without number, their legions are everywhere, and yeah, they're pretty scary. So, I promise, we're done with humans now. Let's talk about some Xenos.
Oh, you guys told me about the Xenos. Okay.
So let's talk about the Eldar, or also known as the Eldari, which are a super hyper-specialized and very technologically advanced race of, well, elf people. They were as well responsible for the creation of Slaanesh, the newest demon god. How'd they do that? Debauchery on a world-ending scale.
Oh, you guys have told me about this. You guys told me that there was I remember like last year or earlier. Oh wait, yeah, early last year, you guys told me that there was like some race in 40K that kept having orgies, right? They just kept having orgies or something, and like they were just like having sex too much, and then they made a god. Mia, wait, I gotta mod you on YouTube. 1 second. Miwa, we're learning. Surely one more orgy wouldn't hurt. I mean, you ruled the galaxy for 60 million years, you get kind of bored and have orgies. That's fair. Miwa's here, keep talking smack about the Space Marines. Wait, which one was Miwa's favorite again? You guys told me, but I forgot. Wait till you hear their current plan for killing said god. Is it like having sex with the god or something? Miwa likes the Imperial Fists. Who are the Imperial Fists again? Ah, the Space Marines. The Imperial Twinks. We're ordering more Chaos Gods? Oh, the yellow Space Marines. Gotcha. The bananas with autism. Out kink the kink god, true.
Hornzeech and Nurgle. And the Eldar are very, very ancient, millions of years. These Eldar, however, have a bit of a sensory problem. You know, every kind of pain or feeling that you have is a little bit amplified compared to the normal.
I see where this is going.
However, with Eldar, as their race advanced so excessively and they became so self-reliant and everything became so easy, there was no requirement for food production anymore, there was no shortages, everything was basically done. Everyone was so comfortable, and that comfort breeded this weird sedation, and that sedation breeded the requirement for more and more debauchery.
Debauchery!
Debauchery! Debauchery!
Debauchery!
When everything you have can be so easily acquired, you will end up down this road of pure debauchery. All of the senses the Eldar had that were so powerful, things like feeling, happiness, sadness, and just evil and good, all needed to be satisfied and satiated.
Limina scene, what do you mean?
To satiate these senses grew more and more with worse and worse debauchery.
This is basically like porn addiction. This is essentially porn addiction. It's like when you like jork too much, and there's like you have to abstain from jorking for a while because like nothing does it for you anymore. It's real.
It started off with things like sex and drugs becoming so much more rampant because of these are the first things you really turn to when
what the fuck is this foot thing? Why is this like Santa's elves' feet?
Requirements for living are so easily accessible. It would get to the point that made Sander Cohen in BioShock look sane. All right, this is the kind of debauchery it led to. It was constantly satisfying and satiating these sexual and sadistic or masochistic fantasies that only elevated and elevated, and this was species-wide. People.
Hey Lily, thanks so much for the $5 super. I want to be clear, the Dark Eldar do not worship Slaanesh. They simply refuse to stop gooning even while fighting Slaanesh and hating him the most.
People started going down darker,
more
depraved, and
Isn't this
more
that guy from Final Fantasy?
As time went on. However, some people didn't entirely
hate gooning.
Some of the Eldar were looking at this depraved species that they had become and said, no thanks for me, dog, I'm good. And they bailed. These are the Craft World Eldar. They left on these giant continent-sized starships called Craft Worlds.
Reno, thank you so much for 6 months of membership. They totally worship Slaanesh, whether they're aware of that or not. I can see that. They have a cow bone in their bum, the Elder, probably. Not the Sengoku Rans reference.
They believed in learning the old ways of the Eldar and pushing away from this depravity and debauchery and going back to their main roots. And so
they're like, oh yeah, we're better than you guys because we don't goon. Man, people really just do be looking down on anyone nowadays.
Segment themselves on these giant craft worlds far in the outer reaches of space. They even had this thing called the Webway. Remember what we mentioned about warp?
The Webway? I love your look. Hope you fall in love with Warhammer 40K like the rest of us. I hope so too. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you for the kind words.
Travel with the Imperium. Well, the Eldar had something way safer called a Webway. And the Eldar Webway is actually like a pocket dimension kind of thing. And in that pocket dimension, there were also more horrible, depraved groups and clans that would spend their time in there. And if you imagine the debauchery was bad already, these were debauchery X10. So all of this continued, and it continued, and it bloated until
a piece of hair.
Slaanesh just burst forth. All that emotion, all that mental, thought processes, I suppose, all of this in such a condensed space.
Competitive gooning?
This is all being shot, all their souls as well, into the warp. All this depravity right into the warp.
They just shot their shot into the warp?
Boom.
They gooned into the warp?
Was birthed and killed off 90% of the entire Eldar population.
90%?
Untold trillions had their souls ripped from their bodies and their actual fleshy bodies devoured by Slaanesh demons.
And now some of them decided that since they gooned a god into existence, all they need to do is make another god into existence to kill said god. So they're just gooning more. They're gonna goon for another god. I mean, seems like sound logic to me. I mean, if it worked the first time, why wouldn't it work a second time? Gotta goon a little bit harder. Maximum overgoon. Oh, it's necromancy this time. Oh, they hate goon to Slaanesh.
The entirety of the Eldar race was eaten alive and their souls consumed to the Prince of Pleasure. All of them got fucked up. It was so bad that it literally ripped a warp hole into the fabric of the materium called the Eye of Terror. That's literally this like quasi horrifying gateway portal from the materium and the immaterium right next to Cadia. And it is horrifying. So this Slaanesh, also known as She Who Thirsts, slaughtered the entire population except for a couple. Those in the craft worlds were actually not affected by this as they were so far in the reaches of the galaxy. That crazy crack, that birth of Slaanesh only affected the ones in the center. So these craft world Eldar were able to escape, but Slaanesh got their sights on them. Every time an Eldar will die, their soul doesn't just pass into the warp naturally. It goes straight to Slaanesh, craft world or not. What about those people in the webway? Well, imagine that giant birth happening, but they were only able to just barely get a grasp onto you. Slaanesh was just barely able to hold on.
The sensors.
These people are the Dark Eldar, or also known as the Drukhari. The Eldar population right now is so massively small. It is minuscule compared to any of the other populations in the universe. The Eldar are consistently having issues trying to get their population up because as their souls are constantly being hungered from Slaanesh, they realize their entire species is doomed. And they understand it very well. Since the time of the fall, our race has been haunted by what we, in our reckless pursuit of hedonistic indulgence, gave birth to. Though our dreams
too close to the sun,
worlds and quenched suns, we are now but fitful shadows clinging to the edge of existence. All the stars in the sky cannot blot out the hateful glare of the red moon's eye. The birthing place of the great enemy pulses with all the malice of a demon that is dreaming, casting its shadow over all we have ever done and all we ever shall. Every twisted strand of fate and casting of the runes leads me to this time, to this place, and it is clear that the final battle awaits me at the ancient Crone worlds. A conflict the likes of which has not been seen since the Mon-Kai warred amongst themselves and their corpse of a seer fell to his traitorous son is coming, and all my steps lead towards it, no matter that I walk other paths. I see the stars stained red with the blood of the Mon-Kai, and though their wars do not concern me, I would gladly let them destroy one another. I know that to avoid this fight is to condemn my race to inevitable doom, and though all I see is darkness, I know that I will not flinch from my destiny. And now let's talk about cute plastic models.
Bro, I'm straight up not having a good time.
The first playable race we have for the Eldar are the craft world Eldar,
humans.
living in those craft world starships I mentioned earlier. And each of them have their own kind of craft world, almost like a Space Marine Legion. Each craft world is in itself its own special kind of group. And the Eldar themselves are very fast and rely a lot on trickery.
This looks like Avatar. Doesn't this look like Avatar? The blue people Avatar, not the Last Airbender.
They are squishy, a bit weak, but they're very in tune as psychers. Tons of psychers across the entire Eldar population, and their weaponry and abilities are fast and extremely hard-hitting, but of course rather fragile. Understanding an Eldar's brain is an exercise in futility. They are all over the place in confusion and trickery on a whole galactic scale. They fight weird, they think weirder, and Eldar in their own right really rely on this to keep their species alive. They need to think about deception and the strangeness of what they do if they truly want to not be immediately murdered and slaughtered wholesale thanks to their entirely small population. However, I must say that it seems like their population is getting slightly better. These craft worlds hold millions upon millions of people. And as they continually, you know, reproduce and have their...
Oh, this one's cool. I like this one. I like the design on these ones. I like the like kind of bat wing, techie cyber bat wings going all around the thing, and how it looks kind of organic but techie at the same time. Very cool. I like this one. I like this one.
Craft worlds expand, losing a few people in battle, while hurts a lot, they aren't really losing what's extremely precious to them. It's not like every single death means the death of their species. It seems like they're kind of on the upturn a little bit. They're still a doomed race being sucked into Slaanesh every time someone dies, but they are definitely doing a little bit better than they were before. Eldar are fast, cunning, and what they don't make up for in tankiness, they make up for in extremely advanced weaponry. They also call humans Monkai, which is something I mentioned earlier. That is a derogatory slur for humans in the Warhammer world. Why is it called Monkai? Well, it's because you can't, in your game, call people monkeys.
Oh.
On the tabletop, exactly what I said. Not very
Whoa, the colors are crazy on these ones. Bainley, thanks so much for the super chat. The ships look organic because the Eldar use bone as building material and they mold it into shape with magic singing. This sounds very Avatar. Are you sure that this is... Are you sure that Avatar is not just the Eldar? How do we know that how do we know that James Cameron's Avatar doesn't just take place on a craft world?
Generally pretty squishy, hit like trucks, and move at Mach 5. Fast, hit hard, die fast. Exactly how it sounds. They've been good for a very long time too. We bring only death and leave only carry-on. It is a message even a human can understand. Eldar. So, Drukhari. Let's talk about the Dark Eldar.
On today's episode of How Fucked Up Is Fucked Up.
They have a faction that rides dinosaurs. That's crazy. Elves are very magical. They can sing a lot into shapes. That's so silly.
Those people I mentioned in the Webway, in the super deranged cults and the depraved people of the Eldar, in the Webway, they didn't quite get a hold onto them. Slaanesh like has them, but it has them on like by the pinky finger. And they're slowly being consumed by Slaanesh, but they found out they can stave her off by doing Slaanesh things. The Dark Eldar are by far the worst, most horrifying, disgusting, depraved, and brutal race in all of Warhammer 40k.
In all of Warhammer? I feel like that's pretty bad. Anonymous, thank you so much for the dono. They later retconned the bones into normal rocks. Why? Why'd they retcon the bones into normal rocks? There's an Eldar faction that rides dinosaurs on a jungle planet. Oh. I don't like Sam. Thank you so much for the super chat. Remember what Xavier did to Kurohima in yesterday's rant stream? That's what the Dr. Ella do all the time. That's what I was saying earlier. It was Slaanesh. It was Slaanesh that was sticking their hand in underneath someone's skin. It was literally, I was like, oh my god, that's just like Xavier yesterday.
These are entirely a group of people whose full purpose to save their species from extinction, to go into planets, raid them, and take as many slaves as they possibly can to torture them for 1, 5, 10, 20, a million years, because that torture will keep them from dying. They look very BDSM style too. They definitely have a lot more spiky bits and they have a lot more of that kind of leathery black look to them. But let's say you are an upstanding Imperial citizen, living life on a regular planet. You get invaded by the Necrons. The Necrons will shoot you with a deatomizer, and you will be destroyed in a millisecond, and that's it. Not the worst way to go. You are invaded by Chaos Marines or something. You take a bolter shot to the head or a chain sword across your stomach, and you get cut in half. Painful, but not the worst. The orcs arrive. They beat you to death. Hurts, but, you know, whatever. Tyranids, they eat you alive. It's pretty rough. The Dark Eldar. The Dark Eldar. This is going to get a little graphic.
What is this freaking this crotch? What is this crotch?
I apologize. You pray you die. You don't. You are instead taken as a human slave. Your life will be endless work and agony, 24/7. They will make sure you can't not die, as your pain satisfies them. They will hook you up to all manner of torture devices. They will inject pain-based stimuli drugs directly into your nervous system. They will slowly run razor blades across your skin. They will fillet you and just pull out your teeth and your fingernails one by one. They will remove your appendages and your skin and wait for it to grow back so they can do it again. They will murder and torture and use the R word, it rhymes with grape, your entire family in front of you and do the exact same thing to them. You yourself will also be rhymes with grape anywhere and everywhere possible. And this will occur for 20 years until you are no longer satisfying to them. And then you will be contorted, crushed, and twisted into some form of trophy. A fleshy trophy, or a ring, or a couch.
A couch?
Or a TV stand, or perhaps a wonderful hat, while you are, of course, still alive and breathing. And you will become a moaning, fleshy trophy for eternity. And that is what happens when you are taken by the Dark Eldar.
Okay, I want to say that... Okay, chat, whose favorite race faction is the Dark Eldar? Anybody in chat? I feel like there must be very few people that this is their favorite, right? The Dark Eldar are good guys, no worries. Mine? See, we only got one person. Nope. No. I like the Necrons. Not me, they're scum. Some people really love them. I feel like we should study. I'm just saying, if someone likes the Dark Eldar, you may need to take them to therapy. You may need to suggest therapy if you have friends that like the Dark Eldar the most. I'm just saying.
They are the most depraved, most horrifying race in all of 40K. They look the part, and they do it so they all don't die. They are literally forced to do this, because if they don't, Slaanesha's grip will get harder, and they will have their souls pulled.
Dark Eldar also have female fighters called succubus that fight barefoot, by the way. Why are you saying that as if that's like... Why are you saying that as if that's like some... like a great advertisement for why we should all stand the Dark Eldar? I'm not a feat, bro! Andrew, thanks so much for the 100 biddies. I'm surprised they're not your fave. A race with the dedicated goal of mind-breaking the galaxy. That's not mind-break. Okay, like I said, chat, and I stand by this. Mind-break? The reason why I like mind-break is because it is a happy ending. Everybody is happy at the end of mind-break. This one, they're not happy. Okay, mind-break and torture are very different. Very, very, very different. They're not happy. No one is happy in this one. No one's happy in this one.
Away. So long as they keep doing this, Slaanesha's like, you're doing good, man. You're doing solid. You keep that shit up, you elf-eared bastards. That's the Dark Eldar. That's the Drukhari. They are horrible. On the tabletop, they're actually kind of like Eldar, but more extreme. They are even squishier than the Eldar, but they hit generally even harder. Fast attacks, skirmishers.
I like their pirate ships though. They got cool pirate ships with PP guns on it. That's kind of cool.
Really quick, speedy, get around them, do a lot of damage, get away kind of stuff. That's most of the Dark Eldar. Look up the definition of grim dark in a dictionary. You'll find a picture of the Dark Eldar and Sev from Republic Commando. A quote from Mr. Vecht. We are the lords of despair, masters of terror. Dread and agony are our meat and wine, and they are plentiful indeed.
Lovely.
Dark Eldar. Let's talk about the Harlequins. Clowns.
What's the matter, Andy? Don't you wanna
Wait, they're just straight up, there's a clown
The Harlequins
race!
are a bizarre race
His
of
fucking
Eldar.
pants.
They're demonic clown performers. They're like
Space
a weird
clowns.
mix of Sander Cohen from BioShock and Jin from League of Legends,
Oh,
but in a more
Jin.
clown theme. They're artists of death and perfecters of their craft. They do not belong to Craft Worlds or any of the weird Drukhari people. They guard something called the Black Library, which is this giant tome of never-ending knowledge deep in the heart of the Eldar Webway, and also guarded by their god named Kegorok, I believe is how you pronounce his name. He is the laughing god, but it's
laughing
the Eldar's
god.
laughing god? And these are the Harlequins, the Harlequin clowns. These are Eldar clowns, okay? So imagine the things that an Eldar, these depraved individuals, would find funny. And this is the god of that. It's a horror clown. These are gods of horror for us normal people. For them, they're like, oh, it's so funny. They're all dying horribly. Honk, honk. They're very
Honk,
bizarre
honk.
and difficult to describe. They've escaped the ruinous powers of Slanesh somehow, but their main thing is guarding that black library.
They live in a
And the Harlequins
society.
They're demon clown performers. They're barely any models on the tabletop. They're good in melee. They're demon clowns. I'm not sure. I got a quote. It is too
I
easy
got
for
a
an
quote.
Eldar to embrace the obscene virtues of chaos, for Slanesh is nothing more than a manifestation of the Eldar mind in its most wild and unconstrained form. Human morality is meaningless to the Eldar, and to the dark side of the Eldar mind, all life is to be expended at a whim. Cruelty and generosity are but the impulse of a moment. Beauty and sensuality are virtues that can be expressed in bloodshed just as easily as in song. To an unfettered Eldar mind, there is neither sanity nor madness, but merely a wave of perfect existence fulfilled by its own savage momentum. They're very strange. The Harlequins, Drukhari, Eldar, they are an anomaly that make humans seem completely easy to understand in comparison. They range from rekindling their civilization to horrifying murder and also clowns. They're
And
all over the
also
place, but
clowns.
honestly, they represent quite well and are rather interesting, especially with the whole Slanesh murdering everyone bit. So, yeah, Eldar. Now, bugs.
Come on, they following you now.
Bugs!
They following.
Okay, wait, this guy's kind of cute though. He reminds me of Kha'Zix, and I think Kha'Zix is cute. Controversial opinion. I think Kha'Zix is cute. I also think Cho'Gath is cute. And I think when Cho'Gath gets big, it's just like really cute. I also think Kog'Maw's cute. And I think he reminds me a little bit of Kha'Zix. He's cute.
The bugs.
The Tyranids.
Every female 40k player I've ever met thinks Tyranids are cute. They are! What are your thoughts on bug monster hentai? I'm not into tentacles. I'm not Leah, I'm sorry. I'm not into tentacles, and I'm not into having sex with like non-humanoid things. Like that one, you chat, remember how I was telling you about that one BL-ish one that I was telling you guys about, where this guy gets a plant? He gets a plant, and then the plant gets sentience, and then the plant uses a vine and sticks the vine down his pee-pee hole. Anyway, I think about that a lot, and that brings me a lot of pain and suffering, and I don't like that. I just finished repressing that, thanks. A lot. I was just beginning to forget. Yeah, doesn't tentacle assault usually end in mind break? So that's the problem. When you go through the mind break tag as frequently as I do, you do run into that. And it makes me really uncomfortable, personally. I liked it better when I didn't know about that. I'm just saying. So I think Cho'Gath and Kha'Zix are very cute. Do I want to bang Cho'Gath or want to see Cho'Gath banging somebody or something? No. Like, to me, Cho'Gath is like a little puppy dog, you know? Like, that's kind of how I see him as being cute.
Now, you want to talk something a lot more fun, a little more simple than all this crazy Eldar shenanigans? Let's talk the Tyranids. They're bugs. Do they look like Zerg? Hell yeah, they look like Zerg. You want to know why they look like Zerg? Because they were actually supposed to be what Zerg were. Apparently StarCraft was supposed to be a 40k game in the beginning, hence why they look so much like Eldar, Zerg, and the Imperium of Man. Like, kind of Space Marine-y, those Marines, huh? They look a little bit Space Marine-y to me. Maybe. I don't know. You really fucked up on that one, Games Workshop, didn't ya? Tyranids are a giant infestation of unfathomable proportions. These are giant, extremely bio-advanced hive mind organisms that are basically all about...
Look at them. Look! They got little, like...
hive mind organisms.
They got little puppy dogs! Look at the little puppy dog guys! It's cute!
Basically all...
Look at them! Aww!
About absorbing as much biomass as they possibly can to evolve and mutate to be extremely potent and powerful and kill and eat anything in their path. They are probably the least evil faction in all of 40k because all they want to do is eat shit. They want to...
They're the least evil faction, chat. Okay?
Nom nom the entire galaxy.
They're just hungry.
Also, this Tyranid hive mind has a presence in the warp. In fact, Tyranids in their own right have a massive presence in the warp. They have a thing called the shadow in the warp specifically, where when they are coming in to invade a planet, they have this weird ability to kind of cut off the warp on all the psychers on that planet. And how do you get help across the stars? Well, you need the warp because you need that for interstellar travel. So with people unable to call for help from the Tyranids, these are just easy pickings. And an entire giant Tyranid hive fleet comes out of orbit and just will massacre, absorbing all that biomass and turning them and all of their other Tyranids into even more advanced monsters. They come in so many varieties too.
Oh, wait, these are so cute. Look at them.
Based on what is important. Tiny little roly-poly guys for scouting and having little dudes eat people up, to the Hormagons,
I don't like that guy.
Stealers, all the way to the Hive Guard and the Exocrines and the Swarm Lord, to Hive Tyrants.
Oh, this one's cool. Hey, this is the lizard samurai. Samurai lizard guy.
Battle fleets, and even something as crazy as the Hierophant Bio.
Wait, this guy's so cute. He's cute. Look at him. Aww. He's just a big guy. He's a giant enemy crab.
The Tyranids come in all forms and sizes depending on what they require. They are extremely good at anti-biological weaponry. There is no way you can plague them or blight them. They have extremely strong armor, carapaces and such. Tyranids are nigh perfect organisms and are pretty spooky when it comes down to how they handle all of their genetic material. Keep feeding them, they'll keep evolving.
Oh, this one's so cute. He's got a little Cthulhu face and little stabby and got little hands.
They keep on creating new horrifying organisms to spread across the galaxy. And you know what the most terrifying part of the Tyranids is? We might be surrounded. There have been around 6 or 7 Tyranid hive fleets, Behemoth, Kronos, all these different kinds of hive fleets, and they've all arrived in the galaxy from different points. Different sections of the Milky Way galaxy have had different Tyranids come through. And that is horrifying, because as far as we know, we could just be surrounded on all sides by Tyranids. The only reason you...
I mean, it's just like a little bug guy. Are they your favorite? They're up there, I would say. Sorry, my cat just jumped on my lap. Can I help you? Why is your face so wet? Ugh.
You may not hear a whole lot about Tyranids is because it's a little bit hard to have a bunch of story off of one hive mind genocidal monsters. All these giant bugs swarming in, killing and eating everybody and evolving. Well, I mean, as cool as there are some cool characters, the Swarm Lord, Old One Eye, you can't really have a whole bunch of major character-based stories around them. As awesome as they are, they're simple. They want to eat you. They want to eat you and absorb your biomass. They are simple bugs. If you want something a little more complex, talk gene stealer cults.
I can have all the pot I want, I get around faster than walking, and wherever I need a seat, I can just sit on my balls.
Gene stealer cults are a special brand of Tyranid that can slowly infect themselves into different kinds of society. And by infecting them, they can rise up to where they all pray and believe in these regular humans, pray and believe into their Tyranid hive mind gods. And these brood lords and I think they're called patriarchs all can turn an entire world.
They steal your pants? Not my pants!
And these are called gene stealer cults. An entire hive world of the Imperium can be turned into nothing but servants of the Tyranid masters just by infecting them and screwing with their genetic code a little bit. They also have this cool like Mad Max look.
They do look very Mad Maxy.
One of the bigger threats to the Imperium besides Chaos. I keep saying biggest threat to the Imperium. They're up there though because.
Do you even wear pants? I'm wearing pants right now. I'm not wearing jeans though. I'm not wearing jeans. I'm wearing pants though.
You, dingus, stepped on a bug in middle school. Asshole. There is a cancer eating at the Imperium. With each decade, it advances deeper, leaving drained, dead worlds in its wake. This horror, this abomination, has thought and purpose that functions on an unimaginable galactic scale. And all we can do is to try to stop the swarms of bioengineered monsters it unleashes upon us by instinct. We have given the horror a name to salvage our fears. We call it the Tyranid race. But if it is aware of us, it must know us as nothing but prey.
Oh, that's a cool line.
They're cool. But are they as cool as the orcs?
I don't like orcs. Boo, orcs.
Orcs, orcs.
No. I don't like orcs.
Love orcs. So, yes, the green monsters, the green tide, the green skins. These orcs.
Okay. Hot take. I don't like orc porn. Maybe that's why I don't like elf porn. But actually, even like when an elf is banging another elf or a human, I don't really care for that much. But like to me, orcs are like next level up on ugly bastard. Like I'd rather see ugly bastards than orcs. And you have to remember that I really don't like ugly bastard. These guys don't have dicks. They're a fungus. How dare you? Football hooligans? Mushroom people? What the fuck are you guys saying? You may not like the orcs physically, but you may appreciate the culture. Okay. I'll give them a shot. We'll see.
They are in fact a race in 40K. The orcs are as exactly what you expect them. They have archaic weapons, they're big boys, they have axes, and they have got big old teeth, and they want to kill everything, and there are so many of them.
Look at his legs!
The only reason they haven't taken over the entire galaxy is they can't stop murdering each other. Orcs are so cool. Orcs don't have philosophy. Orcs don't have existential crisis. What matters is who's the biggest orc. You listen to that guy because he the biggest orc. He big orc knows best. You win through the power of imagination. Of all the races I have battled throughout the galaxy, the orc is the hardest to comprehend. They wage war with machines that should not work, care little for strategic gains, and are just as likely to slaughter each other as the enemy. How does one battle an enemy that defies all logic?
Brian, Bob, thank you for the super chat. They're fun guys.
You're enjoying the life you're given. Your whole life and job and purpose is to get up and beat each other to death because you can. The biggest orc is the man who understands everything. He is the boss. And orcs have this really weird, like, big, dumb, stereotype British accent.
What? Why do they have British accents? Anonymous, thank you so much for the $2 dono. These orcs are asexual. They just want to fight and kill. When an orc dies, they release spores in the air to make more orcs. Why do they have British accents? They're hooligans. They're just British. It's a British game. Everyone is British. Because it's the best accent for them. They're Cockney hooligans. I can't, it's in the audiobooks. Wait, I want to hear.
Which is just
the CEO of Games Workshops was bullied by football hooligans. That's so funny.
Hilarious to me. Those are orcs. You fight. You like to fight. Your whole purpose is to fight. You wage war because you want to wage war. You got your boss over there, and you better listen to the boss, because if you don't listen to the boss will squish you and make you an example for the other orcs. And then you can't fight because orc dead. And orc dead can't fight because orc dead. Orcs. They scrap together machines out of parts that don't make any sense, and because they believe, they have the mental imagination that that machine will run, it'll run. If that machine's out of gas, you're driving that machine with your fellow orcs, and the biggest orc is behind the wheel, and you run out of gas, some orc behind you is like, oh, Zog, we're out of gas. And the big orc is like, no, we're not. I filled the fucking gas tank up earlier. And all the other orcs are like, oh yeah, you did do that. And then you turn the fucking mech back on and it works again. Does it have...
What the hell? Lily, thanks so much for the super chat. Orcs have a hive mind psychic power and they don't even know. They change reality around them. Obviously, red vehicles simply go faster. They just don't know what ammo is, so their guns just shoot. That's crazy. That's actually hilarious. This is why Limina could never be an orc. She can't imagine things into working. I hate you guys. This is ableism. This is ableism, okay? Just because I have aphantasia and I can't see shit in my head, you can't say that, okay?
Gas? Probably not, but it works. The power of imagination. They paint things red because it makes them think they goes faster. They paint things purple because it's the sneakiest color. You want to know why? You ever seen a purple orc? Didn't fucking think so. Orcs are also like ancient as hell. They're back in the Alteri time frame. But back then they were called Krorks, and they were much larger and scarier and far more intelligent. Now they're just orcs, and they're big, dumb, and they smack things. But they're pretty spooky. They're not very well armored, but they hit really hard, and it's called the Green Tide because there are so many orcs. There are about as many orcs as there are Tyranids, maybe more, who knows, but they keep on, murdering each other, so it's not too bad of an issue. Orcs are entirely comic relief. Their stuff is slapped together that makes no sense. Their vehicles don't work the way they're supposed to, but they work because they think it works, because they imagine
That's
that
amazing.
It works.
That's
Orcs
actually incredible.
Care only about who is the biggest orc, and they will follow the biggest orc. And then if they want to be the biggest orc, they'll challenge the biggest orc. And then when they go and they issue a wa is just war in orc, they murder everybody and everything in this giant tide of green orcs who are just excited to be hitting something. They don't care that they're hitting Eldar or the Imperium or Tau or anyone in between.
Oh, that's what you guys are singing, screaming, "Wah!"
That's orcs. And on the tabletop, they are a total coin flip, and they're really fun. I have never met a salty orc player. I have never met someone who plays orcs and is ever just a bad guy or...
Oh my god, orc players are like angels. It's been said that orcs are the reason that the Emperor is still alive because they believe he is. Wait, that's actually so amazing. I like that theory.
That guy. Orc players have this kind of fun to them because when you play them, you are completely submitting yourself to RNG. So here's the thing. Guardsmen, Imperial Guardsmen, when they shoot, they roll a dice, and on a 4 up, they'll hit their target. They have a 50% chance. Space Marines, pretty good. They hit on a 3 or higher because they're well trained. Adeptus Custodians, they hit on 2s because they're just super well trained. Orcs, they hit on a 5 or higher. But if they roll a 6, they get to make another shot with anything, from the dinkiest pistol to the biggest rocket launcher. It doesn't matter. Half of their stuff will blow up on a whim. One of their medics, if you roll a 1 to heal someone, you fuck up your surgery and you just kill an orc.
What the fuck? Oh, I mean, we're learning a lot about the orcs right now. They're so silly goofy. What a bunch of goofy guys. The orc medic is crazy.
They're so wacky and silly. But the thing is if you roll well, you roll high, and you keep rolling high, you are going to crush people. And if you don't, you lose. I mean, that's what you get when you play orcs. That's what happens when you play orc. It's a coin flip, which is why you can't be a salty bitch when you play orcs, because things won't go your way. It's just the roll of the dice. You're playing a dice game. But if you're going to have fun and you want to be stupid and you want to be silly, you're going to play some damn orcs. But on the opposite side of the fun part.
That's fun. I like the orcs. You're right. I do like the orcs. I don't like the way they look, but I like what they stand for. And I like that they're like the one faction that are just there to have a good time, you know? Everyone likes the orcs. I can't imagine anyone not liking orcs. It's just like a good time.
Of this. Let's talk about the Necrons.
Oh, okay. The Necrons, you guys have told me a lot about. The ones that I've heard the most about from you guys is the Battle Sisters, the Tau, and the Necrons. These are the three that you guys have mentioned to me a lot, so.
The Necrons are spooky, scary skeletons and very grimdark again. They have a much more fleshed out lore than before. Back in the day, they were just undead Egyptian space terminators, and they still look that way, but now they actually have a story. So way back in the day, you had the Necron tier. Kind of see a theme here: Eldari, Eldar.
Okay, am I the only one that? Am I the only one that just immediately saw NTR? Just me? Okay.
Orc, Necron tier. So the Necron tier were this race of generally kind of shitty people. Not because they were personally shitty, because their lives were awful. They were ill-fated to a horrible existence.
You maybe a broken person. What do you mean? I saw it here. See, it's not just me, just you. I love Narita Top Road. So true. You read too many doujins. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. I haven't read doujin in a while. In a week? Maybe? It's been a while. It's been a hot second. What do you mean, Cap? I don't think it's been more than a week.
Of like radiation and a terrible planet they lived on, and everything just really sucked. Being a Necron tier was just really depressing. They really were looking for immortality. They were extremely reliant on the hope that they would eventually find the key to living forever and just stave off this horrible nature that they were thrust upon them, and therefore they could become the most dominant race in the galaxy. And they found this group. They're called the Old Ones. Imagine them kind of like the Forerunners in Halo or the Xel'Naga in StarCraft, right? These Old Ones were these strong, pretty much omnipotent beings. And they, of course, knew the key to immortality. So the Necrons went to them and said, please, show us your ways. And the Old Ones said, piss off. Not really. They were a lot more humble about it, but they did not want to share their secret of immortality with the Necrons. The Necrons, of course, took this very well and waged war with them, kind of under this united banner. The Necron different dynasties didn't really like each other, but under this one man, the Silent King, he thought the best way to unite his race was to do this giant war with the Old Ones out of spite for them keeping the secret of immortality to them. This was—
I mean, to be fair, if you live in like a world and some guy has the secret to immortality and you go, hey man, can you tell me how to do that? And they were like, no, sorry. It's like, I'd be mad too. Okay? Like, I think like you could, you know, you can even lie. You could make something up, but immediately if you say no, and then it's like, why not? And it's like, just because I don't want to share that with you. Then yeah, no, I think people would be upset.
Was known as the War in Heaven, and
it's worse. It's an entire species of terminal cancer patients that they're telling this to. Yeah, like they have every right to be upset.
This is actually like a multi-stage war, because during this war in heaven, they discovered the star gods, a whole new race of people known as the Catan, or the Catan. These star gods were also very much like old ones, almost omnipotent beings, and they too had the key to immortality. And so the Necrons went to them and said, hey, can you help us fight off the old ones? Can you help us kill these old ones, you, the Catan? And the Catan said yes.
Oh.
And in fact, we can help provide you with the immortality you so desperately seek. So the Silent King of the Necrons decided to make a pact with the Catan to allow them to accept this generous
Settlers of
gift
Catan.
of immortality upon
How
them.
much wheat for
But
that?
This, of course, had been a horrendous trap, and the Necrons.
Okay, how much wheat? How many wheat for? How many wheat for immortality, chat? 2 clay for 1 immortality. You drive a hard bargain. I got wood for sheep. Man, I love Catan, you guys. At least 40K?
In chains to this
40,000 sheep!
Where their flesh was stripped from them, replaced with nothing but a metal hollow shell, as their souls were ripped from their body and
they're
fed
soulless too.
to the Catan. And the Catan fattened up. They got chonk on the souls of the Necrons. As this was their plan all along, they consumed the flesh and souls of the Necron tier and turned them all into unwilling robotic slaves just to serve their
I'm sure
will.
the old
And
ones
then,
are regretting it
with their
now.
Founded Necron army, they pointed their guns at the old ones, and the Catan continued their domination of the stars and their genocide, complete and full genocide of these old ones. The old ones did their best to stave it off. They even created other races, the Alteri and the Orcs, to try to fight off the horrifying Necron army and the Catan above them. But there was absolutely no possible chance for them. And the old ones were absolutely extinguished across the galaxy. Their entire race completely removed. Full-on 100% genocide. However, during all this, the Catan...
the freaking skeleton legs!
So just infatuated with their victory, started fighting each other for fun, for sport, and for small differences, doesn't matter. The Catan, with these overpowered people, they're going to eventually hit each other at some point. And as they began just menially fighting each other, the Eldari and the Orcs actually started pushing on the Catan's borders a little bit, giving them a little bit of a run for their money. And as this continued, this is when the Silent King, who retained his consciousness, decided to leap into action and start a full-scale revolt against their Catan masters. And this revolt was bloody, as the entire Necron army was surged off to destroy these star gods. They were able to, just after suffering horrendous losses, were able to turn the tide of the war. And they took these Catan and they blasted them, because as these star gods are unkillable, they were able to break them into thousands of shards and entrap them in giant stasis vaults to now actually be slaves to the Necrons.
This is just like Sengoku rants. Everything comes back to Sengoku rants, you guys. It's just like the urns. And then a fucking monkey is gonna show up and fucking destroy and ruin everything.
And with the Necrons having the entirety of their old gods enslaved to them, they realized that soon their race was about to be attacked by the overcoming new races, the Eldari and the Krorks. And so what they did is they retreated into giant stasis tombs in order to preserve their energy and their strength for when one day they would be reawakened and they would be able to rule the galaxy that was rightfully theirs. And then some dingus Adeptus Mechanicus guy diddled with a green console, and now the Necrons are back, and they see all these primitive races on their lawns, and they think, get the fuck off of it. The Necrons are back, super advanced, and they are here to reclaim the galaxy that they so rightfully believe is theirs. Now at tabletop, they're a lot like that. Tons of undead Egyptian skeleton robots that when they die, they just get right back up because they keep on reanimating. Hard to kill, tons of...
So like they were having a little nap They were just chilling out. And then some fucking idiot was like, you know what would be a good idea? Let's just release all of these super advanced guys. Wake them up. Oh, Lord. Unks and hags, real. These are my people.
Crazy stuff. You can use the Catan themselves as units to fight with. It's pretty cool. The Necrons
oh, that's cool. Wait, that's really cool that they have this. This must have been like freaking hell to paint. I cannot even imagine painting this. That looks crazy.
As units to fight with. It's pretty cool. The Necrons
the
are
super
one of
Pokeball.
3 major events in 40k. The Horus Heresy, the Fall of the Eldar, and the Awakening of the Necrons are all pretty substantial events. And the Necrons themselves are pretty dang cool as well. Here's a good quote from a wonderful Dawn of War game. Lucky creatures, as long last you have found the tranquility of death. I was like you once, clinging to life and blind to the truth. When I uncovered the truth, I too shuddered and paled with fear. Deep in these catacombs, I was remade. Here, my brethren slumbered for eons while the living grew like weed. My Lord knew this day would come. He had plans for us all. We would purge this world once more. So come, poor victims of life. We will grant you tranquility in these crypts. Kronos will be a tomb world once more.
That's cool. That goes hard. Dawn of War is a great game. Is that another 40k game? Man, I think the thing that has been really difficult for me to keep up with is like I don't know which games are what like in the universe. Like I don't know how they relate to each other. I don't like Sam. Thank you so much for the super chat. Fun fact, the ancestors of humans during the time the Necrons went into the Great Sleep look like shrews. They're known as Purgatorius. It's an RTS. Oh. There's 2 games with 3 coming. I see. Gotcha. Dawn of War 4 is coming out soon. Oh. Because we're playing what am I playing? I'm playing something in a couple days. What am I playing, chat? I'm playing give me a second, let me look at it. I'm playing Space Marine 2. Yes, Space Marine 2. That one's a third-person shooter. You guys have told me that. TNT Gabooski, thank you so much for the super chat. Minor spoilers, but Necrons have robot Yowie lore? There's robot Yowie lore? I'm not a Fujo, but I'm just curious. I need to know the robot Yowie lore. Space Marine 2 is a great introduction. It does move the story a bit. Okay, great. I can't wait to get into it. Although, who was explaining it to me? Someone was explaining to me and they were telling me, I think it was Kana. Kana was telling me that Space Marine 2, you have to single player the story mode. And if you play multiplayer, you're doing like operations or something. And it's like more like side stuff. And she was saying that, I probably won't be doing any of the story stuff if I am playing multiplayer. Robot Yowie? Enemies to Robot Yowie? Trazen and the Infinite and Oricon the Diviner. Oh. You can multiplayer the story. Oh, really? I don't know, people are saying different things. At least that's how I remember it. Multiplayer can spoil the campaign. Necrons started out as scary Terminators with no personalities, and over time they're rewritten to be more interesting. Full game is multiplayer. Oh. Alright, well I'm excited to see what that story's about.
Necrons are also pretty smug. Trazen the Infinite especially. A little dickhead. But speaking of dickheads.
Dickheads.
Last race.
Oh.
Let's talk the Tau.
We made a fucking Wookiee.
The exact formation of the
Why
Tau
are they
Empire
dickheads?
is not entirely understood. However, a long time ago, many thousands of years ago, in the 40k world that is, some Imperial navigation vessels were going around through different areas, and they saw a primitive race, blue people.
Oh, is it because this looks like... Is it because this looks like a urethra?
Smacking each other with sticks and stones. They thought, nah, dumb Xenos race who gives a shit, and they bailed. Then this giant
what the fuck is this?
warp storm occurred right in that major area, unable to be breached. Then, once that warp storm 6,000 years later subsided, hello, those little sticks. Well, they decided to actually have no war of any kind and all just unite together under one flag of the Tau Empire. And now they have gigantic starships and Gundam robots and lasers and railguns and mechs, and they are here to ruin your day for the greater good. That is generally the Tau Empire. They have this kind of feeling of this homogenous group. All species can go underneath the banner of the greater good. The greater good is their idea of the fundamental increase and help of all. In fact, they are most likely the most like the Covenant in Halo, where they have the overarching prophets, being the ethereals, who are actually kind of dicks and like to pull at strings a little bit, but then you have all these different races directly underneath them, and they all work together in this big group as this large, foreboding race that tries to spread their weirdly pseudo-religious influence across the galaxy. The alien is not intrinsically evil. Do not hate him. Pity him, his ignorance. Seek to understand his differences and equate him with his inadequacies. Only then will he accept his place in the greater good.
Hey, thank you so much for the super chat. 40k fans have such little media literacy. They hear that the mind control aliens force people for the greater good and they think, oh, finally, good guys. Oh, they mind control people, so they're hypnosis. You're telling me that they're hypnosis.
That is generally the Tau. And if you're kind of wondering like what their mainly big shtick is, well, they're all about big robots and mechs. They have laser rifles and rail guns. They got giant mechs with tons of missile pods and heavy rail rifles and rail guns and burst cannons and ion accelerators and void shields and all this stuff. And that is generally what the Tau's all about. But you're probably thinking, Bricky, this doesn't sound that evil. This doesn't sound very grim, dark Warhammer. And you'd be right. The Tau Empire really don't have that much of a horrifying, grim-dark style like everybody else. They're much more younger, new age thing.
Well, in fact, they're probably I like the robot heads. It's very cute.
A lot less evil and a lot even better than they are now back in the day because they liked having like that good guy faction. But a lot of us who really like the dark, depressing style of Warhammer didn't really like it that much. So, see, the Tau get a lot of hate, and a lot of that hate isn't necessarily unjustified.
I like they look cool, though.
Mainly from a tabletop perspective, but as you can see from all the visuals I've shown...
Oh, wait. So bear in mind, this whole bit is as of 5 years ago, and is a product of old edition lore and rules. The community has mellowed out since then. Gotcha.
Shown you recently, they don't really fit in the 40k universe very well. They lack that super dark, dramatic, kind of high gothic level the Imperium has. They don't have the weird kind of like grungy stuff that Chaos or say the Orcs do. And the Necrons and the Eldar have their own specific style as well. The Tau really do look like something out of Gundam. And while it isn't necessarily a bad thing, it does definitely not fit too well. There's that. There's also the tabletop problem. In tabletop, Tau are horrible at melee combat, but exceptionally good at ranged combat. So they blast everyone from really, really far away, and they have a million rules to make it so that it's nearly impossible for you to get into melee combat. So it basically just forces you to bottleneck the game into one specific gameplay style, which is gun to gun. And if you're doing gun to gun, they're going to win every time, because they're the Tau, and the Tau are really damn good at shooting. So it's one of those things that make the Tau generally rather hated, and a lot of different reasons for that, both from style and such. But this is actually one of the things I wanted to end this video with, is that the Tau...
The current fandom is more focused on hating the other blue faction, which is who? The beef is mostly memes now, and we have Farsight enclaves that are like rebel Tau groups that have some nice melee units. A mecha with Demon Blade. Ooh, cool. People got bitter about them being overpowered for a while. Tau came out in 3rd edition and they were only OP in 5th edition because of the Overwatch rules. As a Tyranid player versus Tau, it is either they shoot me to bits or I get in melee and they fall to pieces. Blue Space Marines. Oh, Tau Civil War. What the heck?
How, while they have their issues, you should not be discouraged from playing them. I'll make plenty of Tau Weeaboo jokes, of course I will, but it's all generally in good fun. Anyone who legitimately doesn't want you to play a faction is an idiot, and you shouldn't be giving them the time of day. You pick what you think is cool and what you like. In Warhammer, especially now, factions get better.
Seems like such a nice guy.
They grow and then they fall. You should only be playing what you think is cool. You like the look, you like the models. If you're talking tabletop, that is what you should be going for every time, is what you think is badass, because things change all the time. But the universe of Warhammer has so much going for it. Every faction has something interesting, every character has a story, and there's a million stories to be told. The universe is vast and exciting, and while it is dark, depressing, and horrible, that is the damn charm. And out of everything I've told you in these two videos, if anything you could take away, is the reason why so many of us are so into this series and why we like it so much. Because with so much variety, such an expansive universe, and so much that can be done, you can find yourself having a pretty great time. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it has been informative to you. If you'd like to see more of me, Bricky, we have twitch.tv.
Cool. Yeah, everyone go check out Bricky. Thank you, Bricky, for letting us watch the videos. XP, welcome. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We just finished watching all the videos. We watched 2 very long videos, actually. We're about to talk about what we thought about everything. Welcome, welcome. I hope you guys had an awesome Silent Hill stream. Warhammer, yeah, we were doing a Warhammer Every Faction Explained by Bricky. Everyone go check out Bricky. He also has a YouTube channel. He has a Twitch channel. We watch the 40K animations next. I believe I have like a list of things to watch. I've been given the Glitch Stars mandated list of things to watch. So we're gonna go through all of them. And okay, the thing I feel like the Factions Explained is a good starter, but I am kind of more curious about like the actual nitty-gritty lore. Like you guys mentioned like the old man robot Yowie and stuff like that. I feel like all of those things I'm really interested in seeing, so we'll get to that. You have any favorites right now? I think wait, let me read everything to remember what we had. I like the Tau because I like the designs. They seem a little like less fleshed out, but I think it's because when this video was made, it was a little bit newer. But you guys seem to say that they have some more interesting things. I like the Tyranids because they're QT. I think they're very cute. They're just cute little guys. Necrons seem cool too. But like, see, the thing is, I really want to know more about the different factions. Like right now, we've gotten very surface level explanations. So I really do want to like actually learn the lore. Like I thought, for example, the Necrons so far for all of the ones that we've seen seem to have like the most linear lore. Like they have like a reason and a purpose and stuff like that. So I like that, and I kind of want that with all the other ones too. His second faction explained video series is a combination of timeline, deeper fictional lore. Okay, awesome, because that is the next one that we're probably gonna watch. That was the next one I was recommended to watch. I was recommended to watch this one first, and then to watch that one second, so that we can get a better in-depth idea. Chaos, about the Chaos Space Marines, I feel like we didn't really get to know them all that well. I like the idea of like, you know, I like the idea of the, what is it called? The hell? Is it called the Chaos? Yeah, maybe it's called the Chaos. Like I like the idea of that, the hell existing. And the warp. Yeah. I like the warp, and I like that there are these space marines that are under those Primarchs that went to the warp, but I feel like we did not get to know them very well compared to some of the other ones. Like we didn't really like it didn't go into depth of like what their whole vibe or shtick is, because there's just so many of them, I guess. I liked I think the Eldar lore is cool. I don't like the Eldar, but I think the lore was really interesting. I don't like the Harlequins. I don't like clowns. And I like the Chaos Demons. I think they're cool. The Horus Heresy has only 54 plus novels. Yeah, he has another video explaining all the Space Marines separately. Yeah. So probably the next video we do with the lore will be his updated 40k faction video, because that's what Miwa recommended. So we're going to be like going into the factions a little bit more in depth. So I'm pretty excited to find out more. I feel like, okay, the thing about Warhammer is like aesthetically, wait, give me 1 second. Ah, 1 second. Sorry, I thought I thought my roommate knocked on my door, but she didn't. She wasn't even there. Anyway. Yeah. What was I saying? Oh yeah. I think the thing about Warhammer is that even though aesthetically it's not really my cup of tea and it's not something that I'm super would be interested in, I think that because it has like such a long history and it's been around for so long, like there has to be so many interesting things in it, and I really like the concepts that have been introduced so far. I don't really care about like war. I think the war aspect is probably my least favorite part of it, which I know that seems really silly considering that it's Warhammer, but like, I like all the Chaos Demon lore stuff. I think that's really cool. But what about the hammers? We only got one hammer. We only got one hammer. But why? But yeah, I mean, I'm not like... I thought I would be more bored by it. I thought I would be more like, that was just really whatever. But it's possible that Bricky is also doing a very good job of explaining it and is, you know, like doing a lot to keep me interested. But I'm excited to, you know, get into it a little bit more. I know about the model aspect of it. I'm not like super well versed in the model aspect of it. If you guys want to watch, I have a VOD of me painting a Gundam miniature. So I kind of come from like the Gundam side of things, and even in Gundam, my least favorite part of Gundam is like the war part, which I know is really silly, but I think that's why I really enjoyed Witch from Mercury and stuff. And even like Gundam 00, I think I really liked because it had a lot to do. Even though war was obviously a really big part of it, it's very much more like about how the war affected the individual people. And that's kind of what I care more about, is like the individual people and such. So I'm excited to learn more. More of a space opera girl. Yeah, except not too space opera. Like Macross is too space opera for me. Macross is like, I hate love triangles, and it drives me insane. Macross had some amazing points in it too, but the love triangles actually just make me want to shoot my brains out. But actually, thanks so much for the super chat. Gonna go to bed soon. Glad to see you're enjoying 40k after all. I'll be down for more Warhammer themed content in the future, to be honest. Awesome. Yes, we'll definitely do more. I want to like see if there's a point where we can just do like the real nitty gritty. I don't know if I'll like Space Marine 2. I don't know if I'll like it. It doesn't really seem like a game that I would like. I like FPSs, but it's also a third-person shooter, and I think the FPSs that I like are a little bit more like snappy and such. So we'll see. Maybe I will like it. Who knows? The intrigue of Warhammer is essentially a drama that never ends. Yeah, I like the whole Necron lore was really good. I quite enjoyed the idea of what happened with the Catan and the old ones and all that stuff. I think that all seems really interesting. Unless you have a Mayan stim to chat with. Yeah, so they'll probably tell me more about it. Yeah. I'm excited to get to know it a little bit better. And we'll be watching a lot more content too. And you know what I really want to do though? Chat, you know what I want to do? And I need to figure out how to do this. And I've talked about this before, is I would love to find a way to set up a tabletop game like IRL. And have like an overhead camera or something and run like a little tabletop one-shot campaign type thing with like Hio or something. Like at Cortes, you know, like at home. Yeah, at home. I don't know how feasible that would be, but that's something that I really want to try to do. Yeah. There's a channel called Play on Tabletop. It could give you ideas. Warhammer does have a TTRPG version. So, not liking war. I think I have the selling point for you. Warhammer is about dying societies trying to survive another day. It's a struggle to hold on to your soul, your morals, and what compromises you make in the last days of the galaxy. War is just an easiest way to quantify it. No, I agree. And I think that's why, like, despite me not liking the actual war aspects, I felt like these videos were super interesting, you know? Wait, let me move to a different screen. Ah, frick. There we go. It's also the best way of the company to sell overpriced plastic. True. I would really like to try to paint miniatures because I've painted the Gundam miniature and I really like that. So maybe I can paint more. Why is the text so hard to read in this? Isn't it? Maybe I have to make it like more like this. One second. I don't know why it looks so strange. Maybe not. Maybe I have to make it bigger. Oh yeah. Bigger looks better, I think. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Tower fun painting projects. I was assembling a Primarch model while watching this. Which one? Well, I guess I don't know any of the Primarch, so I guess that even if you told me, I won't know. If you know a guy with a 3D printer, you'll save big. I do have a friend who has a 3D printer. Tabletop game streams also kind of benefit from more cameras and angles than card games, so take a bit more to get everything on camera. Yeah, I know that there's like a couple tabletop war games. I think they're called war games in general. I think there's a couple war games that you can solo play as well, is what I've heard. So I was considering even trying to do like a solo war game campaign, but it wouldn't be solo, it would be with you guys. And I think that would be really fun. But the problem is that I really don't know jack about war games. I have no idea how to even start one. You know, it's like saying I want to do a D&D campaign, but you've never played D&D before. But it's just hard because I don't even know I don't even know where to start. We can have a clipmate proxy? Yeah. I think that'd be fun. First Warhammer fantasy game was a lot more like D&D and a classic RPG. Oh, I see. Battletech just came out with their solo version called Aces. Well, if you guys have any recommendations for war games, feel free to send them. I think the last time I asked for recommendations, I got recommended the... it was like the 40k... Ah, shit, I forget what it's called. It's like a duo pack. What was that? The 40k... It was like a start Warhammer... Oh, it was called something. Duo... Kill Team. Yeah. Kill Team. That's what it was. That was what I was recommended. And I thought maybe it could be fun if I got the Kill Team starter set and I brought Hio over and we just like sat here and painted some miniatures and then did like some streams of Kill Team. But again, I just don't know. I just don't know how to play the game. I have no idea how to play it. I like even on the most fundamental level, like I have no idea. Like, how do you even, are there turns? Is it like turn-based? Is it like, is there a timer? Is there like dice? How do I know who's winning? You're putting way too much thought into this. Warhammer at its core is a beer and pretzels game. It's a game you play to hang out with your friends and shoot the shit while you play. Are there hand traps? I think it's just like, I know that it's a game with a very strong legacy. And I want to do my best to put my best foot forward to honor that instead of just like, you know, just doing whatever. There's a game called Battle Sector that can give you a rough idea. If not, there's also that 40k tabletop simulator. Like, I imagine in my head, it's kind of like D&D / XCOM. Like, to me, if I were to make a guess, it's like XCOM. Like, on my turn, I can move all my pieces and I can roll a dice to do an attack. It's much simpler. That's close, honestly. It's a close way of thinking about it. It's like XCOM but squads instead of single dudes. If I were to do it, that you guys would help me figure it out. So I'm not too worried about it. I'm sure you guys would teach me, but I still would feel bad if I just jump into it without any sort of semblance of understanding. But I am really thinking about picking up Kill Team and trying it out with Hio, or if not Hio, I might ask Rumi-chan. I don't know if she'd be willing. She enjoyed painting the Gundam miniature. She painted, we were like hanging out with me, Rumi-chan, teammate's girlfriend, and she was painting the miniature, he was painting the miniature, I was finishing up a plamo, and we were watching Panty and Stocking in English dub. Played the 5th edition, but I'd be happy to try to help. I think when the Gundam miniature game finally launches, that might get you interested. Oh, for sure. I think when the Gundam miniature game launches, for sure we'll be able to play. I'll definitely play that one. While learning, you can play with just the bases / bottle caps before you start investing money too. Well, I'd like to make it like a sort of like a journey. Like we paint on stream and we get it all together and then we play the game that we painted together. I feel like that would be really cool. Beta Lily, thanks so much for the super chat. I've been playing Warhammer 20 years. The game is like 10% of the appeal tops. It's just an excuse to show off your models and talk the lore to people. Yeah. I mean, I feel like a lot of hobbies are kind of like that too, right? So that's cool. I'm glad to hear that. And I'm glad to hear that it doesn't seem like most of the fans are super stickler about the rules or about how it's done. So that makes me feel a little bit more comfortable and just kind of doing whatever. And I'm sure you guys would help me through the process. But anyway, I do want to make it like a whole thing. Like I want to start from us painting the models and then actually like playing it and trying it out. And since Kill Team, you could just do it out of the box, I thought that might be a good idea. It's too bad that Kill Team is like preset though. Like we can't like really pick a a faction. It's just whatever they give you. Gold Guardian, thank you so much for the super chat. If you ever wonder what to play, the best advice I give to beginners are rule of cool. Pick whatever appeals to you. Yeah, I definitely will. I think as long as you're earnest in trying, it'll go fine. We feel about it the same way you probably feel about Kamen Rider. It's a glorious thing to yap about and to share. Yeah. Yeah. We'll probably start with the box. I feel like the box is like... I really wanted to pick factions and stuff, but it just gets so expensive and we don't know where to start. I feel like the box is probably like the best place to start. Give me a Sentai war game? Real. You can expand from the Kill Team starter set too. There's dozens of factions there too. Yeah. Anyway, that's what I've been considering doing with Hio. And I think it'll be funny if we can paint them in our like colors and stuff like that. Hi Mina, hello, welcome. We're just wrapping up. I have an extra core rulebook for Kill Team that I'm not using. Do you have a PO box setup? You can grab individual faction and terrain pieces. Oh, I really appreciate the thought. I think I actually will need to ask Duologs. I'll need to ask Duologs. I actually don't know if Glitch Stars has a separate PO box that you can send things at. I do know that we have like at conventions and such, if Glitch Stars is there, you can give Glitch Stars things. Duologs, chat's asking, does Glitch Stars have a PO box that fans can send gifts to or no? And if yes, where... We have a company PO box. Where can they find that information? Is it on the website? If you're going to bed, good night. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. That's how Limina got an entire army for every faction overnight. It's at your mom's house. Logs! Is there really a company PO box, or are you just jerking my chain? I guess you're not jerking it. Yanking my chain, not jerking it. Don't jerk my chain. Yes, there is. Where can they find the information, Logs? It might be on the website. I feel like... I'm assuming it's on the website. I feel like it would be... If it was anywhere, it would be on the website. That is my assumption. I will ask my manager though. I'll ask Mane-chan and I'll get you guys an answer. I'll post it in Discord if I get an answer. So be sure to join the Discord. It's in the description. Yes. Yeah. Join the Discord. Hang out. And I'll post in there once I get an answer about the PO box. But yeah, if you guys would like to send me some stuff, send me some Warhammer stuff, I think it'd be cool. I could paint some stuff on stream, or if you send me a rule book, that would be awesome. Because then I don't have to buy the Kill Team starter set, I guess, if I just have the rule book, right? Mods, give him a tummy ache. Real. Okay, we're probably gonna... probably going to end around here. Mod, steal her jeans. No, the clipmate cherubs! No! The cherubs are frightening. Oh, Tsumina, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys had fun. I know that, like... I know that this type of stream is new, and it's definitely new for me, so I apologize if there was any like awkwardness, or if I was like pausing too much, or if I was pausing not enough, or whatever. If you have any feedback or if you liked or disliked certain things, please leave it in the comments. I would love to improve the experience in whatever way I can. Because I would love to do another one of these. It was super chill. Yeah, I kind of like it. It's like, it feels a little bit more laid back. I feel like I can just like hang out with you guys, media share, learn about something together, ask you guys questions and stuff like that. So we'll do the updated Warhammer 40k factions explained next time. Pausing too much. It took me 4 hours to watch a 40-minute video earlier today. Oh my god. How did she do that? Alright, well, as long as you guys had fun, I'm glad. I'm glad. Not much of you old streamers out there I can relate with, so you're very welcome. Welcome, fellow old people. I'm a sucker for long documentary reacts. Man, I wish I could do more of them. But it's kind of difficult because not all content you can react to. But I think Glitchstars has a really awesome repertory of like react content, approved react content that we are able to do. So I'll definitely go through that and try to find some other cool stuff. Not just Warhammer stuff, but other stuff too that we could react to and learn together. Don't think your stream elements... Oh shit, are my notifications off? Oh, they're off. Wait, sorry. I'm sorry. Joker, thank you so much for the Stono. Banned because he's not being helpful while being able to chat. That's so true. Why are you doing that? You're not even being helpful. Now I have to go ask my manager. I'm banning him. He's been banned for 30 minutes. Alrighty, Limina. I will see you guys next time. I'll see you guys tomorrow. No, not tomorrow. Tomorrow I am hanging out with someone, which I'm sure you'll hear about. On Thursday, we'll be playing Space Marine 2. And then on Friday, we get to build our Shadow Fox. I'm really excited to build the Shadow Fox Zoid on Friday. So I hope you guys are looking forward to that. All right. Limina, have a good rest of your day or a good night. Thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on Thursday. Bye-bye.